Well, we just had Luke Longley come out. Luke making a little victory lap through the crowd. Dave, can we still spot him over there? It's hard to miss a guy 7 feet 2 inches tall with a 4-foot cigar in his mouth, I can tell you that much. I think maybe Luke was out in search of his wife. Right now, let's take a walk over this way, David. David, can we talk to you for a sec? A guy with more than a little bit of interest in what's happened here tonight. David Falk, one of Michael Jordan's management guys. What do you think?
I think it's a tremendous accomplishment coming back after a year and a half layoff and showing that he's still the greatest player in the history of the game.
I mean, it's phenomenal what he's been able to accomplish. And not, before when they won the 3 championships, that's one thing. But to take that much time off and come back and do it again, it really is something.
I think it shows how incredibly competitive he is and how much, in the early part of his career, a lot of people said Michael Jordan did not make his teammates better. I wonder where all those critics are right now.
You hang out with him as much as anybody does. Is it his competitiveness or his athleticism that really gets him over the top in a thing like this?
I think it's his mental toughness. I think Michael's the most complete competitor I've ever met, the most intensely competitive human being, and he just wills them to win. Despite the age, the injuries, the momentum, and surely Clearly had shifted the other way, he just would not let him loose, and that's what makes him the greatest.
I think I read somewhere that he's a free agent this summer.
Yeah, he's one of a few guys we have that are free this summer, and
yeah,
I hope that gets done quickly.
Well, this might not hurt as far as driving the price up a little bit.
Well, I think he deserves whatever he gets, and I think that it's a lifetime of accomplishment here in Chicago, so I hope it gets done very quickly and with a lot of goodwill.
I saw you and Jerry enjoying a hug over here, Jerry Reinsdorf, the Bulls owner, and we all in Chicago hope that means the negotiations will be just as amicable.
Well, Jerry and I have a great relationship, as does Michael, and I think it's a very difficult process only from the standpoint that there's no precedent for it. And people are trying to guess and speculate what Michael could get, and I hope that Jerry, we sit down and it gets done very quickly, because the guy deserves whatever he gets.
Make everybody's summer a lot happier.
Especially mine.
Absolutely. Well, thanks. We appreciate it. And Jerry Reinsdorf. Jerry, congratulations.
Thank you, Dan.
I know this is the fourth time this has happened, but I'm sure it's every bit as sweet as the other three.
You never get tired of it. You really never do. I mean, especially winning at home. 2 on the road, 2 at home. There's no question that the excitement of winning at home is unbelievable.
Although I'm not so sure Chicago would have wanted it this way. They might just as rather have had it done out in Seattle last week.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to win in 4, but I never had any belief that we were going to go out there and take 2 out of 3 from them. They're a great team and a great arena and a great crowd, and we're very fortunate to take that first one to set it up back here.
Yeah, I thought that game was the only real aberration in the whole series.
I think that's right. I think they, for whatever reason, they were tired coming back, and we stole one from them, and that really put us over the hump.
What a defensive basketball team. You talk about the great teams of all time. I don't think anybody would argue that this is one of the greatest defensive clubs of all time.
No question about it, as are the Seattle Supersonics. Lost in all of the excitement is that 64 wins that they got was the 10th best record in the history of the NBA. And so we beat a great, great team, and to beat them in less than 7 games is a remarkable accomplishment.
I saw you and David enjoying an embrace over here. I hope that means the negotiations will be every bit as pleasant.
Well, we're not going to have negotiations. We're just going to be friends sitting down and talking, and we'll end up where we have to end up.
As it should be. Jerry, congratulations. Terrific.
Thank you, Dan.
Jerry Reinsdorf, the Bulls owner, and what do you want to do now, guys? We'll take one more look at the trophy presentation. This, of course, is what all the fans here at the United Center had been waiting to see, and it was absolutely terrific for them.
Placed the Chicago Bulls,
Commissioner David Stern,
among the storied teams in NBA and sports history.
Bulls, and right now, let's check in the Bulls locker room. Bill Weir standing by inside. Bill,
NBA basketball at its best. Thank you for that. Congratulations to the fans of Chicago, the organization, and the 4-time NBA champion Chicago Bulls.
All right, there's the trophy presentation. Got some guys coming out. Bill Wennington. Oh, I've been waiting 72 games for that, buddy. Hey, congratulations, pal. How's it feel?
This is unbelievable. I can't believe this. Far better than anything I ever expected or dreamed of.
Now, you guys had the chance to win it in Seattle. You waited to come home. I know it's a little bit more difficult on you, but much more pleasant, I think.
Oh, this is huge. To win it here, the fans tonight were fantastic. They were spectacular. Made a lot of noise, stayed in the game. There were times in the game where things started to lull a little bit. Fans picked us up, got us going again, and that totally kept us in the game mentally.
Man, what a way to finish this season up.
It's fantastic, Dan. I tell you, there's a lot of heart and desire and will to win on this team, and starting with Michael going down through Dennis, Scotty, and all the way down to me, Randy Brown, Steve Kerr, and Judge Bushler on the bench. And it's been fantastic to play here all year, and we've had a great time.
Yeah, that's another one of those cases where the offense wasn't totally in sync tonight, but man, what a defensive game.
Oh, it was huge. Ron Harper came out tonight. Ron willed his way to play tonight. He wanted to play. He went out there, and he played unbelievable for us tonight. He really picked up his game, got some great defensive steals for us. Things were awesome. Defense won the game for us tonight.
What's going on after this?
Everyone's in the locker room right now having a good time, and I think I'm going to head back there and celebrate just a little bit, Dan.
Hey, we don't want to keep you. We want you to get in there and enjoy that. Thanks for coming out, man.
Hey, Dan,
thanks for being with us this year.
All right, thanks.
Great job. Right now we're going to send it to the interview area.
With the year I've had, and I think you can ask all my teammates, they'd say the same thing. I stepped up and did the job, and I'm proud of it.
Have you ever seen Michael more emotional than he was today?
Only on television.
In your experience, did this team have a special camaraderie off the court?
Yeah, I've never been on a team, even sort of national teams and things that have quite the same fabric, social fabric within the team. We're very, very close, and I don't think that's normal in the NBA, at least not in my experience.
Given your injuries, do you feel that you can continue to develop as a player?
Absolutely, I got no doubt. I think I've developed every year, and I think you'll see more improvement out of me as the years go by.
How do you beat these injuries that seem to keep recurring?
Right, well, I have a problem ankle which seems to give me knee problems, and when I take care of that this summer and develop some leg strength, I'm hoping that it'll be a non-issue. I'll have surgery on Tuesday on my ankle, clean it out, get rid of some bone chips, bone spurs, and hopefully that'll take the pressure off my knees. Left.
What's your
Left
thoughts
ankle.
and feelings about being the first Australian?
All right, Luke Longley speaking to the assembled media back there at the press center. Right now, Rich King joins us. What's going on back in that locker room? I know we're having some trouble getting our signal out of there. It's so wild.
I'm glad I'm in here. I'm telling you, it's a madhouse in there. You can't even move. And
Here comes our man,
John Sally.
John Spider Sally. What up?
What's up, baby?
How you doing?
How you been?
I'm doing fine.
No problem.
Thanks
a little
so
bit.
much.
Get a little bit.
Can you get a little bit in my mouth, would you please?
That's all. Yeah, I don't drink and drive. I've only got a taste of it.
Nice going.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel? I mean, you've been part of this kind of stuff before, but I know this is just as terrific.
In Detroit, it was one thing that we didn't win at home. So we didn't get the same adulation, but we won here at home, which was cool. We had to. We had to play like there was no game on Wednesday, and we did. And the best thing about it is I get to throw my party again at Excalibur.
We'll be looking forward to that tomorrow night. Right now, let's go back inside. Phil Jackson talking to the media. Phil.
Game put both teams at a real fatigue factor at times out there in the court. We had the fortune to have Ron Harper, who, with all the mysterious ailments with his knee, suddenly was able to go today. And I thought his defense was really the spark plug of the game and the key to the game. He made some three-pointers, and he did some things defensively that gave us the edge tonight.
Difference between this team and the three championship teams, the ability he gives you to switch off on defense?
Yeah, well, I think it's the defensive aspect of this team with the size of the guards and the mobility of the defense because of that.
Michael didn't dominate it as a lot of people expected, and the contributions were rather evenly distributed. Is this an ideal Phil Jackson kind of win?
Equal opportunity?
Equal opportunity.
That's right. I think this game, Michael complained a little bit of being stiff right before the game. There are no excuses. He went out. I talked to him about fatigue factor. He said, I'm just going to go. We'll go with whatever takes it to win this game tonight. I wanted to rest him in the third quarter when I saw him struggling, but there were 4 or 5 timeouts, it seemed like, in that quarter. He said, I can fight my way through it with this amount of timeouts. But his shooting was just a little bit off. But it seemed like we always got the ball back. Dennis got 11 offensive rebounds. Our offensive and our defensive rebounding was just outstanding tonight. The control of the ball was the factor of the game.
Bill, was this championship more rewarding than the other three because Michael came back and rebuilt the team?
Well, it was a great championship, but the one thing about this championship was we were expected to win, and that whenever you're expected to do something, the pressure is great on a basketball club. It's a relief to win rather than a exaltation. So tonight was kind of a relief and a celebration because we knew we were good enough to win. We just had to put that nail in the coffin and close the lid of this series. And we just kept waiting for that game to show up where we play well. We didn't shoot well again tonight, but I thought we shot consistently from 3 points at least, and we got the inside-outside game going, and that's what made it a sweet game. And every time we needed a big basket, every time we had to step up, every time they made a run, we were able to hold them back.
Well, here we are, cigars. Everybody's got one, and Ron Harper's with us. Harp, hey, that's one of the guttiest performances I have ever seen. You with those knees and doing that kind of stuff tonight.
Well, it ain't two knees, it's just one knee. Me and my teammates talk about being NBA champions. This was a dream. Seattle was a very good basketball team. They played us tough this year. They came out and they won 2 games at home. But we knew that we had to come back home, and our main goal was to get a game up in Seattle. And we came back here and set game 6 up. We came out tonight. Cigars, champagne, it's all on the house, baby.
When you came here a couple of years ago, I mean,
who cared about a couple years ago?
That's what I mean.
It's the ultimate goal. Everybody talk about last year. Hey, I know I didn't have a great last year. I made up for it. We NBA champions. That's all that counts.
The 2 games Seattle lost, I'm telling you, it really showed that they missed you.
Hey, it's a team. This is a team sport, and this is the ultimate team sport. This is the ultimate team game. We was up 3 games old. Everybody said that our teams wasn't gonna play well. We lost 2 games in Seattle. Everybody said that we lost our faith and our confidence. I didn't play. I told Phil, Saturday with a plane landing in Chicago, if I don't start, we fighting. And Phil said, what you mean? I said, I don't start, we fighting. He said, why? I said, because MJ want me to start, and Scotty, me and Scotty been close all year, and Scotty told me, if you start, we gonna win.
What are you gonna do now?
I ain't going to Disneyland. I'm going to Chicagoland. This is the city where I want to stay and finish my career at and enjoy it.
And the party's not over yet, man.
The party ain't going to end till the break of dawn. The party ain't going to end till Tuesday morning when I get my knee scoped.
You gonna show up Tuesday for the rally, or are you gonna be partying?
No, I'm gonna get my knee scoped on Tuesday early. And I don't know. I'm gonna go and take care of this knee because my knee hurt, and I'm gonna take care of my knee first because it's the main thing that needs to be done first. Hey, if I miss the parade, hey, I love Chicago. I'm glad for the chance that Phil gave me this season, and I hope Phil come back, Dennis Rodman and MJ come back, because this is a very special team right here.
I think the people will forgive you if you're not there, but they can wheel you out there, you know.
Whatever you want to do.
All right. Way to go, Harp. Congratulations, man. Ron Harper. Boy, what a great game he played, too. You know, he was not even scheduled to play in the game. As he said, he told Phil, we're going to fight if you don't start me. He started. He played heavy minutes tonight and did an absolutely outstanding job guarding Gary Payton, who on that side of the ball is probably the toughest guy to guard that there is. Hey, Bill Weir. Bill Weir's back from Seattle, hanging out. How's that locker room going?
You know, I've never been to war, Dan, but I've been in the Bulls locker room, and for that, we all need Purple Hearts. Absolute bedlam in there. In fact, the camera was ripped right out of our, the cable was ripped right out of our camera for this one.
Somebody else is coming out here. Michael Jordan.
See Michael Jordan.
Let's see if we can get in on Mike. I don't know.
Michael was carrying his daughter into the locker room earlier. Tears in his eyes.
We're out of range here. Let's see if we can get out there. Well, a little short on cable to get over to that mess. We'll try and get him when he comes back off the floor. I'm sure he'll give us a stop by, but
I don't know what it was like in.
He's off to the interview room, I think.
That's where he's at.
Yeah.
So we can take them via satellite.
Yeah, we'll get him in a second.
I don't know what it was like in the locker room in Phoenix a few years back, but absolute mayhem. A classy move, though, from Sean Kemp, who came into the locker room just moments ago, hugged Scottie Pippen. They shared a little champagne. A tough thing for him to foul out and then go into to eat crow that way, but classy move.
Did he hug Rodman?
He did not. I didn't see that. It wasn't that touching of a moment, but still pretty impressive.
I'll tell you one thing, as we said and as we've seen from these fans, 3 times they did it before, then a couple of years hiatus and back to the #1 spot again. And it really is just every bit as sweet, and that's what Jerry Reinsdorf said, and some of the players as well. Man, you don't get tired of this kind of stuff.
Well, I was in Seattle for Game 4 and 5, and the noise level in Game 5 was as loud as anything I'd ever heard until tonight. When Steve Kerr hit that late bomb and sent this thing and pretty much clinched it, this place was rocking unlike I've ever heard.
It has been an unbelievable year, and they get one in the United Center. The other one was one over across the street at the old stadium, which had its own certain ambiance, but yeah, this is every bit as good. We want to go to the locker room now. I think Michael Jordan's about to get to the podium, so let's check in with him.
Sean, have you reached superstar level thanks to this final in the NBA now? Have you gone beyond what you think you were before this final?
I don't even worry about that. I just stick to playing my game. I just play my game. You know, as a player, you don't have much time to think about your superstar, your status, and stuff like that on the court. You just play the game and see what happens. You know, anytime that you lose, anytime that you try to do something in life, I think you try to learn from your mistakes. So I think what we realize now is that, hey, you know, when the finals come in Game 1 and 2, you got to come to play. You can't. It's hard to come from from 3 losses. So I think the thing you just take home is that, hey, if you come out with the right approach to the series, it'd have been a little closer. But you know, we have nothing to hold our heads down at this point.
Any disappointment at all?
Yeah, it's always disappointment. I mean, there's no second-place winners in this world, so and we realize that. So, like I said, the thing you have to do is just take it and take it in the right way, and you know, just keep working and work harder. And I think you realize at this point it doesn't come from probably from the physical ability on the court. A lot of it's mental, and I think as a player, as a young player myself, that's what I'm gonna take home with me. Try to take home a lot of the mental stuff that happened out there on the court.
Sean, who was most impressive about the Bulls team?
No doubt, number 23. I mean, without that man there, you know, it'd be a 360-degree turn right now.
After 6 games against Rodman, your impressions of Dennis?
We're going to cut away from Sean Kemp there for just a moment and show you the scene at Rush in Division. As many of you know, this is the place where Bulls fans come to celebrate the night away after big victories. We've seen this before. It would seem from looking at this that it is quite a bit more subdued than in previous years, and with very good reason. There are 5,000 additional Chicago police officers on the streets tonight to make sure that things don't get out of hand, and it would seem that they're not getting out of hand tonight. 200 National Guardsmen on duty tonight, 120 of them military police officers. And so you can see that phalanx of officers there at the bottom of the screen and at the top. And they're clearly containing that crowd. Crowd not very big either.
It looks very calm. But you know what? Dennis Rodman was talking about giving a party. I don't know if there's any truth to that. If he does, all those cops are going to need to come to his party and keep order. Let's hear what Dennis Rodman had to say recently.
A lot of people never gave me any credit to be in this situation where I am today, but I proved them all wrong again, so, you know.
Did you have some doubts? Did you think maybe, Dennis, this wouldn't work out as well as it has?
No, you know, I'm just happy to be here with somebody, with a city that likes to see someone work their ass off, and, you know, I just like to give back to the people.
Everybody wants to know about next year. There's been some questions. Do you feel as though you're going to be back here next year?
I don't know. It's just up to I promised the people one thing, and I think I did it tonight. Hopefully that's what they want.
You know, his former teammate, Isaiah Thomas, said tonight that Dennis Rodman was actually toned down here in Chicago compared to his days with the Pistons. Can you imagine?
That's hard to believe. I wasn't in Detroit. I don't know, but it's hard to imagine a toned down Dennis Rodman. You know, we talked about this earlier, that the Dennis Rodman sideshow factor might be a big problem. It might prevent the Bulls from achieving this 4th championship, but certainly didn't happen. He stepped up and I think surprised a whole lot of folks.
And who would have thought that Ron Harper would be the key tonight? I mean, he didn't play those last 2 games in Seattle, and boy, has he really turned it on. Let's go inside the locker room now, where it's supposed to be so crazy with Bill Weir. Get Scottie Pippen on.
Well, crazy is a good word for it. Tony Kukoc is somewhere on the other side of this mob right now, child on shoulders. We're going to see if we can get a shot in here and listen to what Tony has to say.
It was great over there, but this is the best. It's the ultimate.
Welcome to the United States.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, where's Luke? Let's get Luke out here. Yeah, let's get Luke out. The call is going on. Tony, back into the trainer's room now. It's thinned out a little bit with Michael out on the podium. I see John Sally across the other side of the room, and Bill Wennington is making a toast. Oh, who do we got here? Luke Longley looks like is making his way to the doorway. Let's see if we can jam in here.
Would you now say, no worries, mate?
Well, there were some worries there for a while, but pretty stoked right now.
You know, when you guys came out here for game number 6, there were some worried looks on your faces, but then you started playing, you took the lead, and you never looked back.
Being back in the United Center was huge for us. Everything we did turned up right. You know, the crowd got behind us and just developed momentum through the game. It was you couldn't have written a better script, I don't think.
Luke, what's this championship mean to you?
Hey, I trivialize it to put it into words, mate. It's just, you know, it's a reward for a life, you know, for a full-time ambition.
Are you going to get to take that trophy down?
A little Australian post-game for you there. Luke Longley has his back in the doorway because this is truly it's a siege situation. We're going to send it back out to our anchors, or Dan Roan, perhaps.
Hey, Bill, this is Allison. Can you hear me?
Yes, Allison.
Hey, what made the difference this time, do you think? I mean, the last 2 games, the Bulls look so bad, and they come in tonight, come home, and they just look incredible.
When in the pregame introduction was unlike anything I've seen all season here. That is usually the best in sports regardless. But I think Seattle, they're a little underestimation of their crowd and just the emotion the Supersonics are going to bring into these games 4 and 5. Tonight, a whole different story. And you can tell the momentum, regardless of those third quarter surges by the Supersonics, but pure emotion getting it done. And Scottie Pippen, where was he the last couple of games? He definitely showed up tonight and is enjoying the cigar as a result.
And Bill, we really don't want to sell this Seattle team short. I mean, they probably played the best game at the United Center that they have in this series. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, easy to say that, Steve. And they're trying to do something even more unsurmountable. Let's go to, I'll answer that, but we got John Paxson. I think you'd rather hear what he has to say. Let's go to the assistant coach.
You won the last championship for Chicago with a three-point shot that nobody's ever going to forget. How does this one compare to that one, Coach Pax?
Wow, everyone's different, and this is my first time on the other side, but it's really a wonderful thing for these guys. And the guys you appreciate it for, obviously Michael and Scottie, they've been through it, and Dennis too, but it's guys like Ron Harper who tonight came out and gave a great effort, helped us out in the third quarter, hitting 2 threes, one from right about this spot here. And Steve Kerr, who came here a few years ago hoping he would have a chance to win a championship, Bill Wennington, Judd Bushler, Luke Longley, Tony Kukoc, all these guys, it's really nice for them. So, and it just caps off what was a remarkable season.
Well, those things don't change. I remember the last time it was won here in Chicago, you had your hands on the ball at the end of it, but Bobby Hansen and Cliff Levingston and all those guys played a huge role in the game.
They did, and we were down huge that game going to the fourth quarter, but it's just nice. And it was a struggle tonight too. You know, our offense wasn't really going. After we got that 17-point lead, we seemed to kind of get in the mud and not be able to get out, but our defense really saved it for us, and we played hard enough and well enough to win. But what was really good about the series, we were tested as a team a little bit, and had we swept this thing in 4, people would have thought it was too easy, and I think these guys will have a great appreciation for having been pushed in this series a little bit.
Well, that's a great Seattle basketball team, no question about that.
Yeah, and they've got 2 really young players who they're going to build around, and I know Gary Payton's a free agent after this year, and they'll want to get him signed, but Kemp was... we all watched him throughout his career, and I got to see him through the playoffs a little bit. I knew he was good, but he was better than I had anticipated. He's getting smoother as a player. He's understanding what he can do on the floor. They got a lot of growth in them, but hopefully this team will stay intact and we can do this again next year.
This is probably, big question, Pax. Thanks very much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
John Paxson, and now Michael Jordan meeting the media inside the locker room.
Play the game of basketball, and I had a lot of things on my heart, on my mind. I had the good fortune of a team who came in and played extremely well. I just had a lot to think about, and maybe my mind wasn't geared to where it was, and but I think deep down inside it was geared to what was most important to me, which was my family and my father not being here to see this. And, I'm just happy that the team kind of pulled me through it, because it was a tough time for me.
Michael, can you put into perspective 87 games and 99 games?
Who would have ever written this season? No one predicted it as much as you guys tried to be predictors. We couldn't have predicted it early. But things work in mysterious ways. You put forth the effort. I think we always blessed with the success that we've had this year. I was blessed to be healthy throughout the whole season and blessed to be able to get the game ball or the championship game and bring the championship back to the city of Chicago. And, it happened on Father's Day, it makes it even, more special. And I think we all should, even if we're not together next year, which I hope we are together, this has been a very, very special year, and there's no way you can really describe it.
From the time you came back 15 months ago until now, was there any, you mentioned before it was a long road, was there any point along that road where you thought that maybe you couldn't get back to this moment?
I never doubted that I couldn't get back to this moment, but it was some days that was harder than others. The motivation wasn't quite the same, maybe a day just emotionally I didn't feel as secure or as confident as I've been in the past. But what made the difference is my family support, and my friends' support, my wife and my kids. My wife pushed me every day. On days I didn't feel like getting up and working with my trainer, and she pushed me. She set the alarm clock and made sure I got up and I went down to work out. And it's the gratification of those days. And I had good days. Don't get me wrong. Most of the days were good. And when I looked at my teammates and the lack of success a lot of those guys have never had, that was part of my motivation to do whatever I could to be a leader to this team, to get to where a lot of them had dreams of getting. And I'm just as happy for those guys, so that they can go out of their career as champions. No matter what happens from this point forward, you can't take a championship from Randy Brown, from Judd Buechler, and even Jack Haley, and Luke Longley. All these guys who have bounced around from team to team, and now they have finally got to a situation where they have played in the most ultimate dream of playing in the NBA, and that's for a championship and to win.
What would you say was a pleasant surprise to you this year? Something you didn't expect and it came through and made it better?
I guess the pleasant surprise was the way that we all have gelled together. It was no animosity. There was no bickering. There was no jealousies. We knew each and every individual was going to be judged differently. And I think that's what Phil's credibility has been, is that he's been able to, blend everybody together where no one feels different than the next guy or envious of the next guy. And that was something that I was very leery of coming into this season, especially with Dennis. And I think Dennis he dedicated himself to come and help this city win another championship. And to his credit, he's done a good job in mentally focusing himself not to be too much of a diversion, not to say he wasn't a little bit. But we've been able to maintain a certain focus, and yet we have accomplished this dream.
Michael, you're marveling at what y'all have accomplished, but I remember October 22nd and 23rd when I came to you and asked about the possibility of winning 70 games. I thought you would laugh me out of the locker room, but you didn't. You said that you all could, and can you think back and why you had that hunch?
I think everything's a possibility. I'm the most positive thinking guy that you can see, and when you said that we could win 70 games, I certainly didn't think negative. I thought that, we could, but it'd take a lot of things to go in our way, and I never pushed it on the negative side, and I just said that it's going to take game by game, day by day. We can't jump ahead of ourselves, and but I didn't focus on it that moment, because I knew it was a lot of work to be done, and we did put a lot of work into this.
Mike?
No, it's not a good comparison. You guys are going to do all the comparisons, but this team is very amazing that we have come together in such a short amount of time and accomplished a major feat, and to compare it to the 3 championship years where that team was some sort of a family and we were together and went through a lot of disappointments before we accomplished, the 3 championships. That's an unfair comparison.
Mike, if you stay together next year, can you see anybody beating you? Can you promise to repeat now?
I don't do promises of repeats. I think I like to see us together so we can win another championship. But
Mike, now that it's over, will you soon address the sweatshop issue?
Sure, I will. I will sit down with Nike and we investigate it and we will address it. But
do you feel that you've been used?
I can't say that. I mean, I can't say that without really investigating, my participation and my involvement and what's happened from a business standpoint. I've been focusing on this, and I will give myself up to thinking about, things other than this after from this point forward. But I can't give you a comment on that right now.
Michael, do you believe you will definitely be back here next year?
I believe it. I'm very positive. I believe we'll be back. I did say we. That includes Phil and hopefully Dennis. And me. He's not going nowhere. He's not going. He's one of the reasons I came back. If he leaves, I'm leaving again. I hope he's around. And as much as I admired Shawn Kemp's ability, I'm just so happy they didn't make that trade. If they made that trade, no telling if we would have been here and if I would have been here. And a lot of people doubted Scottie Pippen for a long period of time, and he's becoming like a little brother to me. I'm very happy that he've come back today and answered to a lot of the critics that kind of criticize him. And to his credit and to the work that he's done, the 18 months that I was away, I'm very blessed to be a part of his team and to seeing him grow so much in the last 8 years. Is truly a blessing for the city of Chicago and certainly for me.
Michael, how much did Ron Harper help you tonight?
Ron, I can't say how much Ron is meant to this team. I mean, he was very disappointed last year when I came back because it kind of pushed him to the bench and he really didn't feel the involvement. This year he geared himself he worked out all season, off season to get himself into the game and a more integral part to this team. And tonight I think he showed his importance to this team. He played extremely hard and he's our glove. He's our mitt. He may not be a glove, but he's a mitt. And I'm very happy that he's bounced back. I know he's going to have surgery sometime soon on those bad knees, but he fought through pain today to help us bring this championship here to Chicago, and I'm very glad that he was around.
Scotty, when you were a kid with the team, did you think Jordan was a pain in the butt?
When I was a kid?
A couple of years.
No, not at all. I've always respected and admired Michael's game, and I've always tried to pattern my game after Michael, as well as a lot of great other players that played the game. But, Michael's brought me along, as he said, like a little brother to this game, and I've learned a lot from him by being his teammate.
Am I assuming right that this championship probably means a little bit more to you because you were here during those 2 years between the three-peat, and you saw the team go down, and now you're back on the mountaintop?
I mean, the comparison is pretty close. I have to say winning 3 titles in a row back in the 91, 92, 93 season, it was very special because, we felt like
All right, Dan Roan back on the court, and Dennis Rodman's joins us. Sir, congratulations, Mr. Champion.
Well, this is what we worked all year for, and whoever's listening, I think that I've gave the city the opportunity to come out and say, we don't want you, Dennis. We don't want you, Dennis. And all year long, I've been saying, I'm going to bring a championship to this city, and I will prove it. If I don't bring it, I need to leave town. But I think I brought it.
Well, if you run down Michigan Avenue naked and get 20 rebounds a game, you'd probably be back anyway.
You're right. You're right. But you see these people here.
Listen to that, Dennis.
It's great. It's great. And, I just really appreciate the city of Chicago. They didn't have to do the things they did for me. Take me in their arms and love me the way they do. They didn't have to do that. But, I want to give back to people. I want to show people that, hey, I belong. in this city, and I want to do it, and I've done it.
Well, you wanted to show them that, but I know this means a lot to you that you do belong to a place like this, a city like this, and a team like this.
Oh yeah, I think this team needed something like me. I think this city needed Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, all the rest of these guys, and people don't appreciate the guys that come off the bench and that take care of us, the reserves, and those guys don't get no credit at all. But you got to hand it to those guys. Now they came through.
Were you nervous coming into this one? This was one you almost had to have. I know you guys didn't want to go to Game 7.
I wasn't nervous. I just in anticipation, just going there banging heads, going and taking elbows, taking anything that they dished out. But I'm a warrior. I love to go in and mix it. I love to go in and do what I have to do to win. If that's flopping, doing whatever it takes, I'm going out there to win.
Well, that surge in the third quarter is what turned the game around. You drew a charge, you hit Michael on a pass, got an offensive rebound, and scored on a break, all in the space of about 3 minutes, and that's where the game was really decided tonight.
I think it was really decided. The fact that we came out the third quarter said we got to do it. We have to. This is our moment. This is our moment. We don't do it in the third quarter, we're going to lose the game and come back Tuesday, which I didn't want to do. If I'm going to come back Tuesday, it's going to be in a parade.
Well, you got people watching all over the country tonight on WGN, and I know all Bulls fans across the USA appreciate what you did tonight.
I just say, thanks a lot to my daughter that gave me the strength. I look at her and this keeps me going. She keeps me going, and that's why I'm here, man.
Can we say where the party is tomorrow night?
I don't know. You'll find out real soon.
I know where it is. I might be too scared to say where it is, though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think everybody know.
All right, Dennis. Okay. Thanks. Congratulations, man. Good job. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman, 20 rebounds for the Bulls tonight. Absolutely unbelievable. As you watch an expanded edition of WGN News, live from the United Center, where the Bulls have won their 4th NBA championship, beating Seattle tonight in Game 6, 87-75. And right now, you can't look at these highlights too many times, I don't think. Right now, Bill Weir has Jack Haley. Bill, go ahead, take it.
Jack, congratulations, first of all. If there's anybody who deserves the Enthusiasm Award, it's you.
I'll tell you, it's been a long year, and they're a great team. They gave us a scare, but we accomplished what we thought we'd do. We held on to the greatest team of all time record, and we're in the back just having a great time. There's champagne flowing, cigars, people are getting drenched in water and champagne, and it's an all-out party. I don't know where we're going from here, but wherever you are in Chicago, be there, because we're gonna be there.
It's gonna be
there's an invitation.
It's gonna be a grueling couple of days, but I think you guys are up to it.
It's gonna be a grueling couple of days. We're gonna be there. Everybody was it Grant Park? Grant
Park. Nashville.
I'll be there. Let's go to Grant Park. We're up in here. We're having a great time. It's absolute pandemonium back there and just hysteria. The guys, from Michael and Scottie, who have 4 rings, on down to me and Steve and Judd with our first ring. It's incredible.
You've reached the water fight stage of the celebration.
There's a full-blown water war back there. The guys are dunking each other one at a time. The wives, the players, the owners. We just nailed Reinsdorf. It's all out war back there. It's incredible.
How long does this party last?
I'm going nowhere. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I did the right thing. I wore a nice suit to the game, but I brought an extra because I knew this was going to happen. So I'm not going to change till they're long gone and champagne and water's done.
Hermetically sealed behind the plastic right there. Real quickly about coming back from Seattle after the 2 losses. I know you guys aren't impervious to self-doubt with the season you've had, but was there any concern at all?
Whoa! Yeah, no question. There was, I don't know if there was self-doubt, but, we got up 3-0. I think we thought we were going to close it out with a sweep, and, we didn't play well in Game 4, but Game 4. Game 5, I think we really thought we were going to get them, and when they came back and got us, there was a lot of refocusing going on. But Michael came into practice, and he had the eye and the look on his face, and everybody knew it would be okay. We just followed Michael to the promised land, and Dennis was just huge night. Steve hit his shots. Tony played big. It was a full team effort. And it's just great.
How did this crowd's noise compare to the noise in Seattle? They talked about that being the loudest place. It was pretty loud.
It was loud. When we came out, my head's still ringing. It was loud. The crowds here, the fans were incredible. They were great. The crowd in Seattle, small building, was the loudest thing I've ever heard. But here it was just unbelievable. The fans were behind us. Total jubilation and just excitement. We're just pumped.
Congratulations, Jack Haley. Back out to Dan Roan on the court.
Okay, Bill, thank you very much. They've turned the lights off in the arena, and the public address announcer is now asking the fans to vacate the building. There are probably a couple of thousand people still in here. It's been quite a treat for them. They've been mobbed over near the tunnel where the Bulls come out onto the floor to warm up. That's where all of our guests have been coming from, and everybody's getting a chance to high-five everybody else. It's been quite a night for these people who've hung around here well past the end of the game at the United Center. Again, won by Chicago 87-75 to wrap up their 4th NBA championship. Right now, let's take a look at the highlights from the game. We'll walk you through some of the key plays from this one. It was a difficult game, no question about that. Supersonics can't beat Supermen. Well, they did twice in Seattle, and they thought that they might have a chance to do it again tonight. But Ron Harper, what a courageous night for him. Scoring right here from Scottie Pippen, bad knee and all. He came out, started the game, heavy minutes, did a terrific job. And Scottie Pippen, silent in the last 3 games in this series, beat the buzzer for 2 there as the Bulls hung on to a narrow lead through the first half. Michael Jordan just 3 out of 11 in the first half, but a fancy 2 right there on the break. Shawn Kemp, outstanding as he was in every game of this series, working hard down low for the dunk. Kemp had 23 points in the game tonight. Michael Jordan again, the driving force behind this club, up and in, heavy contact, got it off the glass. Bulls had a lead 45-38 at halftime, and Dennis Rodman, as we said just a moment ago, keyed the Bulls' victory in the 3rd. He scored on the break there. The lob pass to Michael Jordan on the backdoor cut. MJ laid it in. He had 22 points tonight, but Rodman with those 20 rebounds, 11 offensive to set a new NBA Finals record. And in the 4th quarter, Tony Kukoc stepped up and hit a big basket. Steve Kerr hit some long-range jumpers tonight as well. And Scottie Pippen on the kick-out pass from Michael, drained it from the left side. And the fans starting to celebrate as the clock ticks down 1 second, and that's the way it ended. MJ and Randy Brown tackled on the floor, and right now, Dolores Jordan is with it. Michael Jordan's mother. Miss Jordan, congratulations. How do you feel?
It's wonderful. They had to work for this one. We have been on the road for, the last week in Seattle, so I'm extremely happy for them.
Did you have any misgivings about this game tonight? Did you think they might be in trouble?
No, I felt like they would win it, either tonight or the next game. I knew they were going to do it, and I just kept encouraging Michael, saying, don't worry, I know you guys are going to do it. Just keep giving it your best.
What was his frame of mind before the game?
Just going out playing his best, and whatever happened, be able to accept it and go back and try again.
Well, I know that he had said a lot about dedicating this to your late husband and his father, and on Father's Day, what a day to make it happen.
Well, we met in the hallway, and we both emotional, and I said, yes, you did it for Dad. It's a special day. Yes, it is.
Well, there are certainly pictures from previous championships we'll never forget, and this is another one of those moments. Allison wants to ask you a question back in the studio. Allison, what is it?
You know, really, I just want you, please, Dan, to tell Mrs. Jordan how happy we all are for her and for her family, and tell her we look forward to seeing her soon.
Best wishes to you and your family, and she looks forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Allison. It's a pleasure, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks for coming out. We have a guy right behind you that you know a little bit, right?
She raised great children. Yeah. I wish you had a young one, about 18 or 19 now, and we draft them.
Congratulations to you. What a job you have done. To you and Jerry Reinsdorf, both of you. Congratulations.
I'm so proud.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you that you, like I said, you raised great children, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Have a good summer.
Belle was looking for you. Did she find you? She was in the locker. She was looking for you. She said she had to get you. She wanted to hug you. Okay.
Where is Jerry? I have not had a chance
I don't know. I haven't seen him in like half an hour.
Please give him my
best. Okay. Good.
Thank you, Mrs. Jordan. And Jerry Krause, congratulations, sir.
How sweet it is.
Man, I'll tell you what, it was a rough weekend in Seattle, but what a way to come back and finish it up. And I know you'd rather have gotten it done sooner, but at home, you really can't beat this.
No, you can't. And you know, that rough weekend in Seattle, but we won a basketball game out there, and only 3 teams won out there all year. So I'm really proud of what we did, and it's a great group of people. To know the character in that locker room, to know the special people that are in there, it's really special.
Well, you guys had to work hard to get this club put together, and that must make it especially sweet at this point.
Yeah, this one's really fun. It's just different than the other ones, and it's so much fun. And it's a group in there, and all the groups are great, but this is a special group. the character in this group is just special. And we had great character before, but this one's a special group.
And we talked to Jerry earlier, and we talked to David Falk, and everybody's certainly amenable at this point to having it happen all over again next year.
We're going to work real hard to get this done.
Well, take some time off and enjoy this one because you deserve it.
We'll take tonight off. We'll go back to work tomorrow morning.
Okay. Maybe not quite that soon. Jerry, thank you very much. We're losing our light, you guys. We're going to send it back to you.
All right, Dan. Hey, Dan, you look like you're having a great time out there.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And
you
you're
can't
doing
beat it.
a tremendous job.
A lot of fun out here. I wish you all were out here.
It would seem that people are not leaving there, even though they've turned the lights off. The celebration goes on.
It's mostly security people left now. I think the fans are starting to file out, and there's some other TV crews and such doing their work out here. But most of the people are beginning to file out now, and hopefully to celebrate very peacefully in Chicago tonight.
Hey, Dan, can I ask you one quick question about the game tonight?
Sure.
Because we heard from Ron Harper, and we also heard from Scottie Pippen. Both of those guys were playing through injuries. How are they able to do something like that when they had such a hard time in previous games?
Well, as Jerry Krause just said, Allison, I think it speaks a lot for their character. I mean, these guys, there's a lot at stake, obviously, in a game like this, not only personally, but for their team as well. And Jerry spoke of the character on this club. I really think that they didn't want to let their teammates down. And you heard what Ron Harper said. He said he was going to fight Phil Jackson if he didn't get the start tonight. And he played terrifically out here. Through a lot of pain, guarded Gary Payton, a tough guy to stop, and did an outstanding job. And Scottie stepped up a couple of times when he had to as well.
Dan, for a time there, you had Michael Jordan's agent David Falk on your left, and you had Jerry Reinsdorf on the right. I thought for a minute you were going to try to get them together and work out Michael's deal tonight on WGN.
Boy, Steve, just think of the commission I would have gotten up for that deal. Huh?
I was thinking about your commission, Dan, but I was also thinking about the future of the Chicago Bulls.
Well, I truly think that they'll be able to get all this done. I mean, no one in their right mind can imagine Michael Jordan playing anywhere but right here in Chicago. Of course, it's all contingent, at least to what Michael has said in the past, on Phil Jackson returning. That is a little bit more of a sticky situation, but, you know, I'm confident when things like this happen, you want to perpetuate it, obviously, and I think that they'll be able to get Phil done, and if they get Phil done, the rest of the Ducks should fall in line. Rodman, who knows? We don't know what his demands are going to be, but I know Dennis and his agent are very cognizant of the fact that they can make a lot of money off the floor in Chicago, so that upfront salary might not matter as much in this town as it would in some others.
All right, Dan, well, before we look to the future, let's stay focused on tonight and the celebrating that's going on all over the city. We've got some videotape of the party going on Division Street. If we can take a look at that, Steve, I think there are a few more people out there now.
A few more, perhaps not a whole lot more, though. You can see those mounted officers there keeping him under control. Right now we're going to go back to Bill Weir. He's standing by live with James Edwards. We'll tell you more about this celebration a little later on. Hello, Bill.
Well, that was a false alarm, Steve. He teased us. He came to the door, but now he's back inside. A water bath. I don't know if we can get a shot of the soggy media right now. Yeah. This is all courtesy of Bill Wennington. A giant tub full of, at least it was warm water. He's courteous in doing this. We're going to see if we can't get Buddha out here. Let's see. James? I'll throw it back to you guys. We'll check back in if we can wave him down.
Hey, Bill, before you go, can we ask you a quick question? Because you spent some time with Buddha while you were out in Seattle covering the series. What were his thoughts? I mean, he's been through this before as well.
Yeah, he is truly one of the class guys of the NBA, a Seattle native, went to high school out there, grew up there, went to college at Washington, has been around the league forever. He's 40 years old, ancient by NBA standards, and to go out in this fashion possibly before he starts a coaching career, wonderful for James Edwards. We'll ask him ourselves if I can find him.
But he also had the respect of his teammates. I understand the guys really, really looked up to him.
Very much so, very much so. And the choice to put him on the playoff roster in lieu of some of the other guys, a sign that his wars, his days in the trenches with the Pistons earning those rings, no lack of value there.
Bill, you know, another guy who made an interesting contribution to this team was Jack Haley. You talked to him a moment ago, but I know you spent quite a bit of time with Jack doing a kind of a long story on him.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? He never played, but yet he made quite a contribution.
And he took a tremendous amount of pride in just the small role he did have, waving that towel and cheering him on. Here comes Buddha. James Edwards.
Number 3 for you.
Yeah.
How much fun is this?
It's the best ever. Everybody dreams about being a world champion.
Like Ali of all times?
All time. Rumbo, young man, Rumbo!
Michael Jordan was emotional after this game. He said he wasn't going to get emotional, but I think he started thinking of his dad on Father's Day, and there he was.
Well, you know, Michael worked hard all year long. You know, last year when I was watching the playoffs, I saw the disgust in his face. They were talking about he's a step slow. He can't do it no more. He came back. He proved everybody wrong. He was MVP, greatest player ever to play the game.
How important was it to win this game here and now and not have to go to Wednesday?
Well, this is the first time. See, when the
pass courtesy of John Sally there.
And here's your other guy here.
Oh,
Get a wide shot here.
Float like a butterfly.
Sting like a bee.
Rumble, young man, rumble.
Give me some eyeball. Give me some eyeball.
You know, winning a championship is
Hey, Buddha,
the
those
fun
are
of it
VIP
all.
pass for the party tomorrow at Excalibur.
I don't need none.
The fun of it all is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about. You work hard all year long for this. They said after we got 72-10, it wouldn't be a thing if we didn't get the ring. We got the ring now.
Ron Harper, how important was him coming out of sick bay today and stepping on that court?
Ron sucked it up. He's the backbone of this team. He's a defensive specialist. He's our glove, and he put the glove on tonight.
Yes, he did.
Injured and all.
No mitten.
No mitten. The glove.
All right, James Edwards, outstanding. Where are you gonna put that ring? Which finger?
Let's see. Well, I got one on this one on that one, so I think I put it on this side this time.
So you got Detroit on the left hand and
Bulls
Chicago on the right hand.
That's right, baby.
And maybe another one next year?
I hope so. Come back for number 20.
Absolutely.
Is this the perfect incentive for another season for a veteran's not a nice word for you?
Why not? Go out on the boat, do a little fishing, see if I can get in shape again, and come on back next year.
That's right. Coming back from Seattle, what was the thoughts on the plane? All the confidence in the world, regardless of a tough weekend?
Well, it was a tough weekend. Seattle played great basketball at their place. You know, they're a great team. Otherwise, they won 64 games. No team wins 64 games. They're not no slouches. They came in. They had a lot of heart at their place. We couldn't put them away. We had to come to our business in front of our fans, and it was great.
How long does this party last?
This party's going to last for about the rest of the summer.
Even out on the boat?
Oh, yeah. We're going out on the boat. Have a good time.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Buddha.
All right.
Steve Allison, we'll kick it back. Oh, Phil Jackson just walking into the training room. He has spent some time on the podium, so it looks like he wants to actually do some partying rather than just talking. We'll kick it back out to you, see if we can't drag anybody else out of here.
All right.
Okay, Bill.
Thanks,
I
Bill.
told you that Pistons blood would do Chicago some good, eventually.
Well, you know, there was a time I might never have admitted that, but I can't.
It worked.
I cannot argue with you. You know, one thing we haven't heard a lot about tonight is, you know, this is one of the oldest teams probably in the history of the NBA.
Rodman's
Certainly the oldest team
35.
this year.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman's 35 years old.
Scotty's
Pippen's 30.
30.
Jordan's
Michael,
33.
well into their 30s. And it's just amazing. You have to wonder how many more years they can play with this level of physical and emotional intensity.
But they're wise old owls. That's how they beat everybody.
I'd like to think that's the truth. Well, the Bulls put the boom to the Seattle Sonics in Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
And the celebration spills out into Chicago streets. Here's the bottom line. The Bulls take home a fourth world championship after rallying from back-to-back losses. Bulls fans are revved up and celebrating the emotional win. But safety is the #1 issue. Chicago police are putting on a strong presence all over the city, the largest since the 1968 Democratic Convention. And city emergency crews are poised to stop any looting or any illegal behavior.
And it would seem that this high profile they're creating is working. Tonight's celebration, though, is just the beginning.
And as you know, the city is planning a huge party. The rally will be on Tuesday in Grant Park, and you can count on WGN News to bring you wall-to-wall coverage of the event. Our live coverage begins at 11 a.m. That's 11 a.m. Tuesday in Grant Park. And of course, you can count on America's sports station for all the rest of the Bulls' victory coverage on WGN News in the morning, at noon, and of course right here at 9 o'clock. And that wraps up our special coverage of the Bulls' victory. Our next newscast is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I'm Allison Payne.
And I'm Steve Sanders. Been quite a night. Have a great night, everybody. Happy Father's Day. And we're going to leave you now with some Bulls highlights. Good night.
bringing Chicago to your computer. WGN-TV on the web. www.wgntv.com.
The World Champion Chicago Bulls cap is item 833174 for only $19. It's the official locker room cap worn by the players after the game. Here's Dave with more.
You can see Trina with it on right there. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you up close in detail because there is one very special item. There you see the Chicago Bulls there at the center. As you look at the left, that is a leatherette basketball on the right side of the cap. On the left, you see it made by Logo Athletics. They are the official licensee for the caps. The best caps on the planet are made by Logo. There is that leatherette basketball. You spin it around, and on the back you have 1996. It is, of course, the championship basketball there on the back. So you wear it on the front, you wear it on the back. It is, of course, A33174, the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls cap. Fully embroidered by Logo Athletic. One size fits most. This is the hat the team is wearing in the locker room right now. You saw Michael Jordan with it on. You saw Dennis Rodman with it on. You see Trina with it on. You see me with it on. You got to get it on too. Hat's officially licensed by the NBA with a great graphic that commemorates the Bulls' incredible feat. Great for the guys. Really great for the girls. You have those bad hair days. You throw on a cool cap and you're out there and you're going to have a great day. It is A33174. Stay on the line. We are really busy.
And remember, these NBA Championship Chicago Bulls items are advance orders. So call Q2 now for the t-shirt A34479 for only $18 or the official locker room cap for only $19. And
he didn't have to do it all. And once again, on offense, another key to Chicago's offense was three-point shooting. They were abysmal in the last couple of games, had been shooting less than 27% for the series, but tonight they really woke up. And as you see in Game 6, it was a lot better. 9 for 25 from beyond the arc. And Michael Jordan talked about winning his 4th title in 6 years.
You know, I was blessed to be healthy throughout the whole season and blessed to be able to get the game ball or the championship game and bring the championship back to the city of Chicago. And, you know, it happened on Father's Day, which it makes it even, you know, more special. And I think we all should, even if we're not together next year, which I hope we are together, I mean, this has been a very, very special year.
To bring this team together in one season, to bring back Michael, to bring Dennis here, this is very special because, you know, I think we all, as players, as individuals, had a lot that we wanted to prove and that we wanted to show the world that, you know, we were still the greatest team.
You know, we just kept waiting for that game to show up where we play well. We didn't shoot well again tonight, but I thought we shot consistently from 3 points at least, and we got the inside-outside game going, and that's what made it a sweet game. And every time we needed a big basket, every time we had to step up, every time they made a run, we were able to hold them back.
They showed that they belong in history. I mean, they had the best regular season record ever, and they played very well in the playoffs, and they won the championship. So they're obviously a great team, if you want to say that. You know, they consider them with all the other teams, they have a better record than anybody else.
Boy, what a couple of days. The Bulls went from venerable to vulnerable to back home, where they just pumped up the volume on their energy, execution, and locked up the championship. My colleague Fred Hickman made the trip to Chicago, saw it all in person. Fred, there was some doubt, but it seemed only for a while, huh?
Well, I think so, Nick. The Seattle Supersonics played a tremendous last couple of games, and they played with a lot of heart tonight. But this Chicago team, much different from the ones that won the championships before, is just kind of an assemblage of ragtag guys who just wanted to get out there and work together. That work ethic is probably summed up in Dennis Rodman better than anyone else. 11 offensive rebounds, 19 total tonight. And after the game, we caught up with Dennis Rodman and talked it over.
Well, I said it when I first came here. I did an interview. I did a press conference. I said that I came here for one reason. The opportunity doesn't knock too often, but it came to me when I first came here. I said, I come here to win a championship. I come here to do a job well done. And I said, if I don't do that, if I don't bring you what you want, I need to pack my bags and go elsewhere. And I think that I put the pressure on the people and put on myself. But I deliver now. Now the people and the organization should bring it back to me. I've gave the people what they want, and I hope the people get what I want.
That brings us to the future. I guess I should ask you about that. Is your desire to stay here in Chicago with the Bulls?
I would love to stay in Chicago. I think this is my home now. I think this is where the buffalo roams, you know, and you know, if they want me back, I would love to stay here. And I think the people really appreciate the things that I do. And like I said, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and what you see is what you get, and hopefully that it'll be worthwhile next year.
You know, it's an interesting thing. A lot of people have talked about the influence that Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and the rest of the guys have had on you, but they rarely talk about the influence you've had on them. It seems to be a much harder working team this year since you've gotten here.
Most harder work. I mean, this team here is very determined. I mean, everyone was very confident. And the thing about this team here, everyone knew what they had to do as an individual. The space, the loneliness, the comfort. You know, we had all those things we had to work with. We knew when we had to be around people. We knew we had to not be around individuals. And people don't give us credit for that. And this team, we've been through a lot. The pressures that has been thrown upon the Bulls all year long. And we withstand everything that people throwing at us. You know, hopefully that next year this team will stay intact.
Final question, is this your happiest moment in basketball?
I think it is one of the happiest moments. I think the first happiest moment for me is my little girl, Alexis. She's the most important thing to me in the world, and you know, I hope she watched it and she was happy for me. And I think the second most memorable thing I could say, I think just being drafted and given the opportunity to be in this league. And the third thing, I think just knowing that I've been mentally, physically, and strong enough to survive all the outside just taunting and things like that. And I went across the green, but I didn't go too far. I'm still here, solid ground, right here, celebrating the championship again.
And they certainly love him in Chicago and what he has delivered to the Chicago Bulls, their 4th championship in 6 years. We'll talk to Michael Jordan also tonight, and when we come back to Chicago, I'll be chatting with him and sharing that conversation with you. But right now, let's go back to Atlanta and Nick.
Boy, a lot of pride, a lot of humility, Fred, and home on the range, huh, Mike? Right. Back at the studio with our analyst, Mike Glenn, Dennis Rodman implied really right after the game, but somebody sort of ran it down to him about how his game had fallen off in the losses in Seattle. Whatever happened, it ignited a flame tonight, Mike.
It certainly did. I think it's Michael Jordan, Nick. Michael keeps everybody playing their best. He keeps them focused, and the 19 rebounds came up big tonight, Nick. They needed him to be big, and he had some key efforts, key energies there. When Seattle was about to make a run, he would always come up with the tip in, the defensive play. 11 offensive rebounds, just did a fantastic job, and he gave them all the support they needed with the good hands, always there to finish up the play for the Bulls.
You think he rattled them a little bit? Sean Kemp said, nah, he didn't bother us, but did he?
Not Sean Kemp. You know, Sean Kemp was consistent throughout, Nick, but I think some of the other players got a little rattled by Dennis, but Dennis was able to be productive. Rattled him or not, he was a productive figure.
Mike, Scottie Pippen virtually disappeared after the first 2 games. He was hurt, he was tentative. Tonight, he was transformed, though. He brought everything onto that court.
He did, Nick. It seemed he was pressing in the earlier games, but this game, he let his defense kind of lead his offense. He got in transition, and this is where I think Scottie is at his best, when he's running the ball club, hitting other people, and offensively when he's posting up. But they got pure Scottie tonight with the 4 steals in the first half. He passed the ball well, and he was able to knock down that 3-point shot, which was another key. People drove, penetrated, kicked out. Scottie shot it with confidence.
You know, the other thing, I mean, I would think that Seattle said, look, the object, don't get the ball in Michael's hand. Let somebody else beat you. And that's really what happened. They spread the ball around beautifully, didn't they, Mike?
They did an excellent job of spreading the floor. You know, Ron Harper was a big element in spreading that floor, and also Scottie doing a good job of spotting up. You have to take some pressure off Michael by having an inside and outside game. They had it all working tonight.
Okay, we're going to hear from Michael a little bit later in this half hour, so stay with us. But the Bulls had won too many games, set too many records to lose their grip and force a Game 7. They had to close it out tonight. Well, it finished 15-3 for the playoffs, 72 regular season wins. How about 87-13 and another ring? Well, after a 2-year hiatus when the Houston Rockets had the audacity and the talent to win it all, the NBA championship is back in Chicago tonight. Michael Jordan had unfinished business left, unfinished in last year's playoffs. But Jordan came back with a vengeance. He was the series MVP. They added Dennis Rodman to the mix, and the chemistry was perfect. And tonight, they won another title. We go now to Chicago and Jeff Flock. This has become a habit for you, Jeff, 4 and 6 years. Is the feeling any different this time out on the streets?
Well, the big difference so far tonight, Fred, Nick, I'm sorry.
although you can see, obviously, a pandemonium kind of ensuing out on the street here, so far, no trouble. Let's take a look inside. The celebration goes inside and outside here at this hour. Inside the Excalibur nightclub, perhaps you can see them out of control there as well. Let's take a look from a high perspective also. This is Ontario Street, which is wall-to-wall cars. People hanging out of cars, dressed in Bulls jerseys, high fives, young, old, white, black. An amazing celebration going on. But although we're perhaps inciting some of the craziness here as we're live out here on the street right now, so far, no problems, no serious problems, no looting, and that is a key concern. The city spent upwards of $3 million trying to make certain that no celebration was inappropriate, no looting, no violence or vandalism or any kind of that. So, in answer to your question, so far so good this year, unlike a couple of previous years. Nick?
Jeff, what's your read on it? Was the public service announcement and the Bulls imploring the people to cool it, or did the city imply that it would crack down? Why do you think it's calmer than usual?
Well, maybe some class after 4 times in 6 years. I think part of that is the experience of it. I think everyone plays like Michael Jordan, wants to be like Mike, and show some class. And I think also those public service announcements with the likes of Dennis Rodman himself, maybe not your poster boy for decorum, but still, I think that had an impact, Nick.
Jeff Flock, thank you. You are one cool customer. You see that, Mike? His tie wasn't even ruffled and all that excitement. We know what that's all about. You know, we were watching the game, and in the third quarter, the Bulls sort of hit that snag. Then they just kicked it up a notch in the fourth quarter. What do you think happened?
I think the spacing was the key, Nick. They were able to penetrate to the middle and kick out on the perimeter. Everything wasn't forced. Everything wasn't able to be double teamed. Take a look at Harper here. See the drive, the penetration. Scottie Pippen just stays focused and knocks down the three comfortably. And also Tony Kukoc. Look at the old Chicago Bulls split. They ran this back in the days when Norm Van Leer was at guard. And Kukoc knocks down the jumper. That movement, that spacing, that execution, they were big keys, and they play with a lot of confidence.
All right, they really spread it around, spread the scoring around, and again, that defense, Mike, 75 points you give up.
Impressive.
Well, the Bulls straightened out everything that was ailing them in Seattle for the couple of games. Everybody raised their level of play, as Mike said. This team got back in sync and let the talent flow. And now it's all over. And we go back inside the United Center where Mark Morgan joins us with more. Mark?
Nick, remember when a lot of these so-called experts said that the acquisition of Dennis Rodman would destroy the Bulls' chemistry? The exact reverse has happened. Rodman really kind of was the final piece of this puzzle and brought this team together. You know, he had 2 subpar performances out in Seattle, but he really rebounded and sparked a crucial third-quarter surge here in Game 6. Now, in a 2-minute span in the third quarter, Rodman scored 5 unanswered points, stole the ball twice, and also picked up an assist, and it was that 2-minute span that broke the Sonics back.
Rodman is a very intelligent basketball player. For him to not be a scorer, but is very effective on the floor, should let people know that this guy knows how to play the game. You look at his hair, and you look at his tattoos, but people don't look at the intelligence that this guy has, the knowledge that he has of the game. He makes a huge difference.
He goes out in a game like this and gets 19 rebounds. What are you going to talk about his antics? No. He's a great rebounder, and he earned his paycheck.
And I think Dennis he dedicated himself to come and help this city win another championship. And to his credit, he's done a good job in mentally focusing himself not to be too much of a diversion. Not to say he wasn't a little bit, but we've been able to maintain a certain focus, and yet we have accomplished this dream.
Dennis and I hit it off very well. I was proud of him during the playoffs. I was pleased with his performance. I think tonight was an example with 19 rebounds of his effort and his energy that he gives the basketball club.
And energy is obviously the key word here. And the thing a lot of people forget about Dennis Rodman is his work ethic. And he really epitomizes what the Chicago Bulls team is all about, is a relentless work ethic. That's why they have their 4th title in the last 6 years. The numbers for Rodman tonight, Fred mentioned them a minute ago. 19 rebounds, 11 on the offensive end. He goes 38 minutes. He only scores 9 points, but again, 5 of those in that huge 2-minute span in the third quarter when the Bulls sprinted away. And as far as Rodman is concerned, his 3rd championship ring, the first 2 with the Detroit Pistons and the Bulls, as we said. Their 4th title in the last 6 years. Nick?
Well, Mark, you really nailed it. Being the best at what you do best and doing it in crucial times. That's what Dennis Rodman did tonight. We'll talk to you in a moment, but still more to come on the show. They just won a title, but we're not cutting the champs any slack. We'll talk about what the Bulls have to do to repeat next year. We'll go back to Chicago for more interviews and analysis and hear from the man you've been waiting to hear from, Michael Jordan, at length. Stay with us.
And of course, QVC and Q2 are the first on these NBA Championship Series products. We're offering A34479 for $18. 14,000 of these have been sold. They're available in medium, large, and extra large. Now's a good time to call. The lines have cleared up a bit, so make sure you get your call into Q2 at 1-800-345-1331 while they're still available. And moving on to A33174, another hot item. This is the official cap of the NBA championships, and this is the same cap the players wore in the locker room tonight right after the game. It's $19. It is the Chicago Bulls cap, available through Q2 A33174. And over 900 of the acrylic throws are gone. Item H25727.
And welcome back to This Week in the NBA in Chicago. Freddie Hickman here, where the Bulls have defeated the Seattle Supersonics 87-75 in Game 6 of the championship series. They take that series 4-2. You want heroes? There are so many of them. Ron Harper playing tonight on a game knee, but playing great defense on Gary Payton to help spark the Bulls. This team shot 39% from the field and yet still managed to win. So lots of heroes, but I have to tell you that the guy who stirs the drink is indeed Michael Jordan. Tremendous player. We sat down and talked about it after the game was over, and we talked about the 18 months he spent away from the game playing baseball and how it helped him in this effort.
It was unbelievable medicine for me to get away from the game, and those minor league players that I played with, and some of them are in the majors now, you know, they gave me the motivation and enjoyment of playing the game of basketball once again. And when I came back last year, you know, I went through a disappointment through Orlando's beating us, and I think, but that turned into a positive for me. You know, it put me back in the gym, back with the weights. My trainer really worked me out this summer. My wife and my kids supported me when I really didn't feel like I wanted to go out and do that. And you know, it's finally come to a very successful season. I mean, we went through the acquisition of Dennis Rodman, which no one knew how he was going to fit on this team, and he's fit very perfectly. I mean, with Phil and his people's relationship, you know, and his personality, I think he was able to bond some very uncharacteristic personalities together, and yet it's kind of come to a head today with a successful win.
Yeah, it was kind of a ring of nomads out there. You know, the Luke, you got them from Australia, from all over the place out there.
Well, I mean, when it comes to winning, you know, it doesn't matter what type of personality you may have, as long as you focus as a team and bond together as a team. And you know, Dennis did a lot of different things on his own time, and you know, I did a lot of different things. Scotty did a lot of different things. But when we stepped on that basketball court, we were connected, and that's the most important thing.
Special day for you because it is Father's Day. All of us watching saw you go into the locker room. Many of us over the years have seen your dad here for these ball games. Talk about how special it is to win it today for him.
Well, I wanted some time for myself, you know, just to say thanks and say a prayer for him, and to really show my appreciation for the gift that, you know, God's given me and the teaching that he and my mother has taught me. And so I went peacefully back in the room and bawled my eyes out and came back and stood up there with a team that really seemed to be focused all season long. And it meant a lot just to give me that chance to say thanks. And you know, he's been with me all season long, and you know, ever since he's been gone, I mean, he's been in my heart. And it was a heavy day for me, you know, to focus, but you know, the most important thing is my family. You know, my wife and my kids, my brothers and sisters, my mother, and this is an added gift, and it's a tribute to him.
Final question, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask it. It's soon, but what do you do from here? I mean, you know, you're out there, Phil's out there, Dennis is out there. What's going to happen in your opinion?
Well, you know, I'm a firm believer if you win a championship, keep the team together, and you know, I'm so bonded with Scotty and with Phil, and I began to bond with Dennis, and I hate to see anything disrupt that. I mean, we've been very successful, but you know, it's going to be a lot of business decisions made this summer, and eventually I'm going to have to make one. Hopefully I don't have to make a difficult one, but I'm going to have to make one, and hopefully it can be back here in Chicago.
And I can report to you that I saw something in Michael Jordan's eyes I haven't seen in quite a while, and that something was relief. What about Phil Jackson and his future in Chicago? We'll talk about that when This Week in the NBA continues from Chicago and Atlanta after this.
Yo, let's talk Flips, Top Stadium Club Extreme Basketball 95. TNC is just the choice cuts. Juice with inserts like the Mailman and Sir Charles, living in the power zone. And check out Big Dog and Mashed. Laser cut on the Bean Team. This ain't no love story, it's Reggie versus Starks, Kenny versus Penny. They're going nose to nose, they're nemesis. Top Stadium Club, Louis math and info. Solid snaps and slamming subsets. It's basketball in extreme.
Phil Jackson just coached the Chicago Bulls to a 4th NBA title in 6 years, and the timing for him couldn't be better. His contract is up. Jackson's a free agent, and being the 18th highest paid coach is due for a gigantic raise. Bulls owner Jerry Reinsdorf says he'll pay Jackson top coaching dollars. But don't compare him to the coach, to the $3 million man Pat Riley or newcomer John Calipari, because both of those guys are also GMs. Jackson may take that as an insult. Rumor has it he could take a year off and take a sabbatical at his spread in Montana. Well, Mike, you know, the crown's just been placed on the Bulls' head, and now we're already looking ahead. Can they win it again with a pat hand? They're long in the tooth. They got a lot of guys in their 30s and 35.
They certainly do, Nick. If any changes, I think, around the perimeter, maybe John Salley, maybe James Edwards, two guys the most long in the tooth, but everything else, I think they'll keep it together.
Charles Barkley's talking about winning a title sometime. Any chance of him winding up in Chicago?
You know, I don't think Chicago would make that drastic a move, but we've heard a lot of other places that Charles may go. The Knicks, supposedly they want 3 first-round draft picks and Charles Oakley for Charles Barkley.
Indiana, maybe Houston. It's going to get interesting.
Yes.
Well, back with more right after this. Stay with us.
Now, a brief on the Olympic Games from Hanes.
You know, a lot of things have changed since the first Olympic Games. Take underwear. Back then, you didn't have much to choose from. And forget about comfort. Thank goodness at these games we have Hanes. Much more comfort. And look at the choice of styles and colors. This only came in green and brown. I'm Michael Jordan, and you've been briefed.
Well, Mike, never a dull moment for us. The championship's in the bag for Chicago. We talk draft next week on the show.
Absolutely. Should be interesting. And we salute Seattle. They had a great team.
They really did. And thanks to our crew in Chicago, Mark Morgan and Fred Hickman, and for everybody here on This Week in the NBA, thanks for being with us. Chicago wins a title again. The Bulls are world champions, and here we see the aftermath, what it took. 72 regular season wins, 85-13. Dennis Rodman, the chemistry, the fit was just right. 4 championships in 6 years. The team of the 90s, the Chicago Bulls. Good night, everybody.
Tonight, only 5 of 19, but 11 of 12. 6-game victory.
After winning a pair of rings in the shadow of Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and Bill Laimbeer, and couldn't deal in Detroit without Chuck Daly. Last year in San Antonio, the Spurs were favored to make the final, but Dennis Rodman rebelled on David Robinson and Bob Hill when they needed him most. Somehow in a city with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Phil Jackson, he has made just as stirring an impact as them. And he is once again a champion, and with our Dan Patrick.
Thank you. Welcome back to the United Center. He collects hair colors, tattoos, rebounds, and championships. For the 3rd time in his career, Dennis Rodman can say champion. How's that sound?
Well, it sounds great right now, but it'll sound even better in a couple of days, you know, so it was a great game.
You like to prove people wrong, don't you?
I do. I like to prove people that, you know, I can throw you a curveball every once in a while, but I can always walk that fine line, too.
You fit in on this team. You didn't stray. Everybody said you were going to. You're getting the last laugh, aren't you?
Well, I said it all year long. I said, you know, the hell what's going on in the league, because the league don't really want to have someone like me to go out there and be an individual. So, you know, I don't want to laugh at the league. I want to, you know, put the league in a situation. But, you know, I said I'm going to do it, and I did it.
You're a lot different, though, off the floor, aren't you?
You should know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I think if people were around you, they would see that you're quiet, you're probably shy, but on the floor, you love to perform.
I love to perform. It's just like any entertainer. Once the camera's in their face, it's time to perform. It's time to do your job. You know, and a lot of people don't give me credit for what I do. And I think I do it better than anybody in the league. And, you know, I get paid to go out there and work hard and get the people what they want. And tonight is a perfect example, and I did it.
Is it important to come back to Chicago? It's mission accomplished for you. You won a title. You said you were going to. Do you want to come back?
I would love to come back to Chicago. If it less money, I will come back to Chicago. But I think they need to respect me and to look at Dennis Rodman, who he is and what he has brought to this city and to this organization, And that's what they need to look at, not what I've done off the court. It's what I do and what I bring to this city.
Dennis, thanks. Congratulations.
See you later.
We thought we were getting a kiss there. We don't want that. For Dennis Rodman, I'm Dan Patrick. Let's go back to SportsCenter.
No.
The Bulls have wrapped up another championship. It took them 6 games. We will wrap up the latest edition of SportsCenter after this.
Boards, 11 offensive rebounds. He did it all, as did the Bulls. 4 times out of 6 possible. A34479. The 1996 NBA World Championship Chicago Bulls t-shirt. 2,000 if you decided to dial in for this already. Let's go to the phones. See who's live on the air with Trina and Dave. What's your name, please?
Hi, my name is Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. Where are you calling from?
From Bakersfield, California.
Well, welcome to QVC. What made you decide to dial in?
Hey, Chicago won.
Hey, go Bulls.
Go Bulls all the way.
What did you dial in for?
The t-shirt.
Got that t-shirt.
Got the t-shirt, yeah.
First place on the planet to have that t-shirt is right here on QVC.
That's right. That's why I turned after they won.
Yes.
Right to QVC.
So you knew the QVC Sports was going to be on the tip, no pun intended, of the sports.
Oh, yes.
All right. Isn't that a great-looking t-shirt?
Very nice. Very nice.
Really sharp. Medium, large, extra large. Which size did you dial in for?
I got large.
Got that large. How do you plan on wearing it, Trace?
I'm going to wear it to my job and show it off.
All righty. Show it off because the Bulls did it.
Co-workers.
Well, that is great. I am so glad you're able to dial in. It's good thinking on your part. We will always be here for you, Trace. At the end of any championship game, we'll be right here at QVC.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for dialing in. You have a great night.
You too now. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
A34479, the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls t-shirt, $18. It is available in medium, large, and extra large. Well over 2,200 of you have decided to dial in for it because we are here first. When you want the best and you want it first, you dial QVC. 3,700 now have been dialed in for that t-shirt. A34479, the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls t-shirt, $18. What a game, what a shirt. And coming up next is A34483. Now this is the sweatshirt. Heavyweight sweatshirt made by Starter. When you want the best, you go to Starter. And anytime you're looking at Starter, you want to look for that embroidered logo. Check it out right here on that left sleeve. We've got it for you. It is A34483, the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls sweatshirt. Available in sizes medium, large, or extra large. And what is on the front? Check it out. You've got the Bulls jersey. Also on either side, you have the 1996, which symbolizes the fact that they are the champions again. Also 93, 91, and 92. 4 times in 6 years are the Chicago Bulls. Quick question. The best team ever. Absolutely. The 1927 Yankees couldn't do it. The 1972 Lakers couldn't do it. The 72 Dolphins couldn't do what the Bulls have done. A34483, the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls sweatshirt. This, again, is made by Starter. And all you do is look at that left sleeve, and there's that Starter logo. That is the sign of quality. That is the sign of something that's going to last. That is the sign of something that is absolutely perfect for this summer because you're going to be walking along the shore. It's going to be a little chilly on the boardwalk. Throw on a sweatshirt. Maybe you're working out, really want to break a big-time sweat. You're going to do it with this because this is a heavyweight sweatshirt. You know those kind of heavyweight sweatshirts you want? The old kind. This takes you back to the old days where they really made heavy-duty sweatshirts. 80% cotton, 20% polyester, machine wash, warm, tumble dry low. Do not bleach, do not dry clean. You wouldn't want to dry clean this. You just want to wear it. The more you wear it, the better it feels. $29.25. A34483 is the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls sweatshirt, officially licensed. Now, what you need to know is this has a generous fit. What does that mean? Well, probably if you're accustomed to wearing an extra, extra large, you could definitely get by on that extra large. You're thinking about that gift for dad, you never got him. Thinking about something that he's going to wear and love wearing. He's going to have a piece of history here. As you can see, Trina has it on. Trina has on a medium, just to show you how oversized these are. These are comfortable. These are so soft, so pliable, and the more you wash them, the more comfortable they become. It is perfect for the nights on the beach and the boardwalk. As I said, camping, if you're going a little camping, maybe a little biking through the mountains. How about those morning walks? How about working out and really breaking a sweat? A terrific price for a heavyweight sweatshirt with a great logo made by an incredible manufacturer, Starter. Now, the hat that I'm wearing right now, Michael Jordan has right now. If you do revert from a Q check, go to the NBC, check it out. Michael Jordan has on the hat that I'm wearing right now, and you can own it as well. That hat is A33174. A33174 is the cap that I'm wearing, the cap that Trina is wearing, and the sweatshirt is A34483. The 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls sweatshirt, $29.25. Let's go to the phones. You're live on the air with Trina and Dave. What's your name, please?
Hi, Dave. This is Janet from Ohio.
Hi, Janet. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, are you excited about the Bulls winning?
Oh, yeah. I got a shirt last year, too.
Oh, that is super. So what did you dial in for this evening?
The T-shirt.
Got the T-shirt.
Yeah, it'll be a thing every year if it happens.
Absolutely. Well, you know, you can always count on QVC. We will always be here at the end of a championship game, whether it's baseball, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's hockey. We are right here first on your block to have the officially licensed merchandise, and you can have it in your home before anybody else even gets it in the store.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing it for years.
Well, I am glad to hear it. I'm glad you're able to dial in from Ohio. I'm glad you were glad that the Bulls won. You have a great night.
You did, Dave.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This, again, is the championship sweatshirt made by Starter. You know that they are the premier manufacturer logo merchandise. This is officially licensed. And, again, it has the Bulls jersey. It's a fabulous design, vivid red Bulls jersey. Then, of course, it has 96, 93, 91, and 92 when they won the championships. The Chicago Bulls, the best ever. A34483. The 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls sweatshirt, $29.25. Also available is the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls polo shirt. I am wearing it myself. That was my choice. A34858, $34. And don't forget about the pin set. $21.50 is going to get you this amazing pin set. Includes 4 pins representing the road to the NBA championship for the Bulls. Now, these pins sold out at the United Center during the actual series. So this is something you're going to absolutely love having. Each pin is a semi-cloisonne and it measures about 1.5 inches, $21.50. Now, this is the cap. Dennis Rodman just had this cap on. Michael Jordan just had this cap on. It is A33174, the 1996 NBA World Championship Chicago Bulls cap, $19. If you pick up anything, I'm talking, you got to go a hat. This is really, truly one of the coolest caps you can get. You can see Trina with it on right there. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you up close in detail because there is one very special item. There you see the Chicago Bulls there at the center. As you look at the left, that is a leatherette basketball on the right side of the cap. On the left, you see it made by Logo Athletics. They are the official licensee for the caps. The best caps on the planet are made by Logo. There is that leatherette basketball. You spin it around, and on the back you have 1996. It is, of course, the championship basketball there on the back. So you wear it on the front, you wear it on the back. It is, of course, A33174, the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls cap. Fully embroidered by Logo Athletic. One size fits most. This is the hat the team is wearing in the locker room right now. You saw Michael Jordan with it on. You saw Dennis Rodman with it on. You see Trina with it on. You see me with it on. You got to get it on too. Hat's officially licensed by the NBA with a great graphic that commemorates the Bulls' incredible feat. Great for the guys. Really great for the girls. You have those bad hair days. You throw on a cool cap and you're out there and you're going to have a great day. It is A33174. Stay on the line. We are really busy. If you can use automated ordering, 1-800-345-1212. This is the cap. I want to show you this on the side because this is really cool. This has that leatherette look. Looks like a real basketball, but it's not. It's just kind of a vinyl thing, but it really looks like a basketball. This is all embroidered. Chicago Bulls, champions, 1996, the 4th time in 6 years, NBA, all embroidered. Made by Logo Athletics. You spin it around, and of course it has the 96 championship insignia there on the back. Officially licensed by the NBA. Let's go to the phones. You're live on the air with Trina and Dave. What's your name, please?
Lois from Des Moines, Iowa.
Hey, Lois, how are you this evening?
I'm fine, Dave. Hi, Trina.
You guys look great.
Thanks a lot. What made you decide to dial in, Lois?
Oh, because I love the Bulls, and I've got a son-in-law and a son that love the Bulls, so they're getting T-shirts.
That's great. We have sold so many of those T-shirts already. One of the lucky ones to dial in for it. What size did you pick up?
I got extra large.
There it is.
I got big kids.
Yeah, you got big kids. Got a big shirt for the big kids.
That's right.
What made you decide to dial in? Because it was official? Because it was on QVC? What made you decide to dial in?
Because as soon as the game ended, I knew you guys would have the T-shirt.
Yeah, we
before
always
anybody
do.
else did. You guys are great.
Oh, we love doing that for you, Lois.
Well, I love shopping with y'all.
Thanks so much for dialing in.
Thanks. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Again, we're talking about the cap right now. This is the cap that Michael Jordan had on, Series MVP. When he did his interview on NBC, this is the cap he was wearing. This is the cap you could be wearing. Now Scottie Pippen is wearing it, so we know that Jordan had it on. We know, and Scottie's wearing it on backwards, man. Has style, what can I say? It is A33174, the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls cap. $19. That is a fabulous price for a cap because this, again, is the official cap. This is the cap that the stars are wearing. You can get the cap that the stars are wearing. You can feel so cool wearing it. Your friends will ask you, hey, where'd you get it? Where'd you get it so soon? You got it at QVC because we're always on the cutting edge. 4,000 of the caps have been ordered already. Why? Because it is the baddest cap on the planet, worn by the baddest team ever to set foot on the hardwood. A33174, the 1996 NBA World Championship Chicago Bulls cap, $19. This cap is just totally awesome. This is the cap, one size fits most, but it's all embroidered. But the coolest thing of all, I got to keep going back to it, is this basketball. When you feel it, it feels like leather. It's not leather, got to tell you, but it feels like leather. So you have a little leather on the cap. Then you have all embroidered champions 1996 Chicago Bulls, NBA all embroidered, Logo Athletic. You know they are the company that makes the best hats on the planet. And of course, the insignia for the 1996 Championship Series. They did it to the Sonics. They basically were, as the cover of Sports Illustrated said before, bull whipped. Let's go to the phones. You're live on the air with Trina and Dave. What's your name, please?
My name's Nidra.
Hi, Nidra. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Mystic, Connecticut.
Man, I love Mystic. One of my favorite all-time little movies was Mystic Pizza.
Is that right?
Oh, yes. Julia Roberts was in that. I remember it was a really cute movie. What made you decide to dial in?
Well, as soon as the game went off, my friend Angela said, turn it to QVC, so I did.
Oh, I'm really glad that your friend Angela told you to do that.
She did.
Well, that's super. What made you, what are you going to pick up this evening?
I'm getting the T-shirt.
Got the T-shirt. And what about the T-shirt made you decide to dial in for it?
Because it's one of a kind.
It is. 7,000 of you have decided to dial in for it because it is one of a kind.
Yeah.
There's nothing else like it out there. It is something that is so totally cool. Are you going to wear it yourself?
Well, I might share it with my husband. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, debate it. See, you can wear it one day, he can wear it the other. I'm sure that you'll probably look a little better in it, frankly. But I'm glad you're able to dial in for it.
Well, thank you very much.
You have a great night. And hey, thank Angela for us, okay?
I sure will.
All right, you take good care. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
We're talking about the coolest cap on the planet, 5,000. We decided to dial in for this cap. It is A33174. The 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls cap, $19. We're going to review a few things right now before we move on. Talking about the T-shirt, first of all, A34479. 7,500 of you decided to dial in for this. This is the official licensed T-shirt being worn in the locker room by the players right now. White T-shirt by Starters. You can see the symbol on the sleeve. The premier manufacturer of licensed sports apparel, 91, 92, 93, and 96 when they won the championship. The best team ever. That's exactly what that says. A34479, medium, large, and extra large. And the throw that you've been looking at, H25727, 300 of you decided to dial in for this. This is 50 inches by 60 inches. Is the 1996 NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls acrylic throw, 50 inches by 60. Again, it is so perfect for the den, perfect for the family room, perfect for that Chicago Bulls fan or into the dorm room, H25727. And the sweatshirt, 700 sweatshirts have been already dialed in for A344.
Jordan was ready as the Sonics face elimination for the third straight game. We've got a Father's Day date with destiny. The final round of the U.S. Open turns into keeping up with the Joneses, which in layman's terms means a lot of love and a tournament which goes down to the final hole. The baseball includes the Braves trying to catch a break against the Dodgers and the Yankees trying to slide by the Indians. In the ring, it's Grandfather's Day, but everywhere else, it's sons sharing with fathers. Okay, not everyone's sharing, but we offer a bird's eye view on Sports Late Night.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Nancy Newman.
And I'm Paul Crane. A happy Father's Day, or what's left of it. And we will start with Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The Bulls hoping 3 is a charm, as in their third time trying to eliminate the Sonics.
Indeed. Do we have a champion? Game 6 in the NBA Finals, and history hanging in the balance. The Sonics, on the verge of being swept just 1 week ago, responded with 2 huge wins in Seattle to force the series back to Chicago. Victory tonight, and it's one game. Winner take all, knowing no team has ever overcome a 3-0 hole in the finals, while Chicago looking to add to a record-making 72-win regular season with its 4th championship in 6 seasons. To a United Center packed with anticipating fans and chilled champagne. Michael in deep thought, prepping to take on Seattle. Early in the first, Jordan, hawked by Gary Payton, wins the battle, draining it right over him. The Bulls were working the boards rather. Luke Longley misses the J, but the Bulls get 2 more chances. Finally, Rodman tipping it home. Bulls break out on an 18-8 run. Sonics trying to stay close. Sean Kemp throws it down over Longley, 33-29 Bulls. Late in the second, Bulls up 10. Scottie Pippen takes matters into his own hands, slices to the hole. The lefty lay. George Karl speechless. Pippen finding his game. Bulls 45-38 at the break. In the third, Bulls on the run. Pippen, Jordan, Rodman. Pippen goes to Rodman for the reverse lay plus the foul. Dennis is feeling it and telling it to the capacity crowd. Rodman making the nice entry pass to Jordan here. The reverse. The championship is near. Mrs. Michael Jordan, Juanita Jordan looking at a 19-point Bulls lead. But later, Sonics went on a 9-zip run of their own. Sean Kemp misses the lay but controls his own miss, sticks it back for 2. Seattle will go down swinging, but the Bulls just will not foul. Jordan penetrating, kicking it out to Pippen for 3. And the celebration is on. Pile on. Chicago would not look back and go on to win the 1995-96 NBA title. 17 points from Scottie Pippen, 9 points, 19 rebounds, including 11 offensive boards from Dennis Rodman. As for Finals MVP Michael Jordan, 22 points to lead the way to the championship. CNN's Mark Morgan has more from the United Center.
This championship in Chicago may not have been possible without Dennis Rodman. The controversial off-season acquisition sparked a 2-minute surge in the third quarter when he scored 5 unanswered points. He stole the ball twice and had an assist. It was a 2-minute span that broke the Sonics back.
You know, there's a lot of things about me people don't know, and one thing that they can't say about me, I'm a competitor. I'm a fighter, and I go out there and work my ass off every night, and so I had no doubts that I can come here and do what I had to do.
Rodman is a very intelligent basketball player. For him to not be a scorer, but is very effective on the floor, should let people know that this guy knows how to play the game. You look at his hair and you look at his tattoos, but people don't look at the intelligence that this guy has, the knowledge that he has of the game. He makes a huge difference.
He goes out in a game like this and gets 19 rebounds. What are you going to talk about his antics? No. He's a great rebounder and he earned his paycheck.
It's huge. Dennis was a huge part of this team, as everyone knows, especially now. And Dennis helped make our chemistry of this team. Took a lot of pressure off guys and went out there and grabbed rebound after rebound every night in and night out, and really hustled and did a lot of things for this team and made the difference in this team.
Rodman epitomizes what the Chicago Bulls team is all about. Work ethic. That is why they won the championship. In Game 6, Rodman finished with 19 rebounds, 11 on the offensive end. Dennis Rodman picks up his 3rd championship ring, the Bulls their 4th title in the last 6 years. In Chicago, Mark Morgan, CNN Sports.
Thanks, Mark. More from a Windy City in celebration. Coming up a little later in the show, including words from Finals MVP Michael Jordan.
Baseball will be next as the Dodgers and Braves play one which goes right down to the wire in Atlanta. Same for the Yankees and Indians in New York, where everyone had to be ready every minute. And we will have more from Chicago, which is celebrating its 4th NBA championship. CNN Sports Late Night continues.
U.S. Open Golf Update, brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection.
Welcome back. It's official. The mission is complete. In Game 6 of the finals, the Chicago Bulls finished off the Sonics and thus the NBA season. 9 points, 19 rebounds from Dennis Rodman, who looks to have found a home in the Windy City. CNN's Fred Hickman has more with a key piece of the championship puzzle.
Dennis, put it all in perspective. This is your third championship. Of course, you had 2 with Detroit, but how special is this for you here in Chicago with all the expectations that you were going to make it here?
Well, I said it when I first came here. I did an interview. I did a press conference. I said that I came here for one reason. An opportunity doesn't knock too often, but it came to me when I first came here. I said, I come here to win a championship. I come here to do a job well done. And I said, if I don't do that, if I don't bring you what you want, I need to pack my bags and go elsewhere. And I think that I put the pressure on the people and put on myself, but I deliver now. Now the people and the organization should bring it back to me. I've gave the people what they want, and now I hope the people get what I want.
That brings us to the future. I guess I should ask you about that. Is your desire to stay here in Chicago with the Bulls?
I would love to stay in Chicago. I think this is my home now. I think this is where the Buffalo roams, and if they want me back, I would love to stay here. And I think the people really appreciate the things that I do. And like I said, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and what you see is what you get, and hopefully that it'll be worthwhile next year.
More from the champs and specifically Finals MVP Michael Jordan still to come.
At the U.S. Track and Field Olympic trials, team trials at the Olympic Stadium in Atlanta, Michael Johnson actually finishes second in his quarterfinal heat in the field in his 22-point night, but this champion has rarely had better games. Back to CNN's Fred Hickman in Chicago with that former minor league outfielder and his latest basketball championship.
Michael, you've been down this road before, winning the championships, but this one seems as though it might be a little different. The 18 months off, the workman-like attitude that this club has had. Put it all in perspective for us.
Well, with 18 months off, I think it was unbelievable medicine for me to get away from the game. And those minor league players that I played with, and some of them are in the majors now, they gave me the motivation and enjoyment of playing the game of basketball once again. And when I came back last year, I went through a disappointment through Orlando's beating us, but that turned into a positive for me. It put me back in the gym, back with the weights. My trainer really worked me out this summer. My wife and my kids supported me when I really didn't feel like I wanted to go out and do that. And it's finally come to a very successful season. I mean, we went through the acquisition of Dennis Rodman, which no one knew how he was going to fit on this team, and he's fit very perfectly. I mean, with Phil and his people's relationship, and his personality, I think he was able to bond some very uncharacteristic personalities together, and yet it's kind of come to a head today.
Special day for you because it is Father's Day. All of us watching saw you go into the locker room. Many of us over the years have seen your dad here for these ball games. Talk about how special it is to win it today for him.
Well, I wanted some time for myself, just to say thanks and say a prayer for him, and to really show my appreciation for the gift that God's given me and the teaching that he and my mother has taught me. And so I went peacefully back in the room and bawled my eyes out and came back and stood up there with a team that has really seemed to be focused all season long. And it meant a lot just to give me that chance to say thanks. And he's been with me all season long, and ever since he's been gone, I mean, he's been in my heart. And it was a heavy day for me, to focus, but the most important thing is my family. My wife, my kids, my brothers and sisters, my mother, and this is an added gift, and it's a tribute to him.
And for Jordan, it's his 4th title in his 4th straight full season. We're back with the play of the day in a moment.
Today's NBA Finals coverage brought to you by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Time now for our Network MCI play of the day and Michael Jordan's completed quest. Final ticks United Center. The celebration is on in the Windy City. 4 NBA championships in 6 years, as Michael would say, completing the picture. Jordan indeed completing an MVP season, All-Star Game MVP, regular season MVP, and now Finals MVP. They're hooping it up in Chicago. The Bulls are the champs, and the night is theirs, as is the pod.
Play of the day brought to you by Network MCI. How to get modern communications technology working for your business.
On this Father's Day edition of SportsCenter, the late Davis Love Jr.'s son awaiting his fate and hoping one of the leaders' U.S. Open's an opportunity for him. Will the Bulls' prayers be answered, or could the Sonics knock them down again? With family and friends gathered at the neighborhood park, Manny Ramirez rocks. Barry impresses his batting coach dad, and those without their fathers on hand try to be like Big Brother. Larry Holmes is a granddad, but he still packs a big punch. And if you're thinking family barbecue, you may want to walk to the relatives.
You got to take the charcoal out of the car before they lit it. Man.
SportsCenter bows in for all of the bigger fans than even our dads next.
Hello and welcome from World Headquarters. It's The Big Show, and alongside my tag team colleague, Gary Miller, I'm Keith Olbermann.
Ahead in this edition, the passing of arguably the most recognized voice in all of baseball. They come about as close as they can to having a 5th playoff in 9 years at the U.S. Open. And how that played out. We'll have that plus a Game 6 that is seeming an awful lot like Game 7.
The perfect choice, the lady or the tiger. It was a very simple choice. Either the Chicago Bulls would win the NBA championship Sunday night, or they would set the stage for a game that could conclude both the greatest championship comeback and the greatest championship fold in the history of American sports. Get ready to rock. Michael Jordan certainly does not know he's on television here. George Karl certainly does not know he's on television here. Scottie Pippen knows. The drive and the kiss off the glass with the left hand. And with Ron Harper playing, Jordan had no concerns about defense, could concentrate on stuff like that. Beats up Sean Kemp to Longley. Bulls 24-18 after 1. As many Seattle turnovers in the first half as in all of Game 5. Jordan pays off that one. But the Sonics would come back, albeit briefly. Peyton, Schrempf, touch pass to Kemp. Sonics down by 4, but Sean, real men don't taunt. They did on the defensive end, too. Longley, Jordan, and Kemp saying, it doesn't matter if we win or not, I'm a presence. Bulls still led 45-38 at the half. Then in the second, the shot clock winding down. How did Peyton hit that one? 52-45 Bulls. The Sonics would stay about that far back throughout. Off the break, Pippen, Rodman, reverse up and in, 62-47. Real men don't taunt, especially not with hair that looks like that. Dennis again, the nice pass to Jordan for a reverse layup. Bulls up by 17, and the family on Father's Day celebrating in the way they'd like to. Moreover, Nate McMillan hurt his back again and scored no points. Kemp tried to do his best. 1 on 3. Gets the ball back and puts it in with the one-hand touch. Bulls, though, up by 9 after 3. In the fourth, Tony Kukoc croating off the dribble from way downtown. Bang. 75-63 Bulls. With 4.5 to go, the curtain came down. Sean Kemp fouled out after 18 points and 14 boards. And then Jordan to Pippen. Unbelievable. 87-70. The closing moments as the Bulls skate towards another championship. Kukoc gives the ball to Jordan, and Michael holds on to that as if it were his child. Chicago wins 87-75. Jordan wins the MVP award and puts on a performance in the locker room afterwards, openly weeping in front of the TV cameras. Jordan, the playoff MVP for the 4th time, does the regular season and playoff MVP double dip for the 3rd time. 18 boards for Rodman, 11 offensive. The Bulls have won 4 titles in the last 6 seasons. Chicago's 4 other major pro teams have won 4 titles in their last 201 seasons. Phil Jackson becomes only the 4th coach to win at least 4 crowns. Auerbach, John Kundla, Riley, and Jackson. And now some of the champions headed by the MVP.
You know, who would have ever written this this season? You know, no one predicted it as much as you guys tried to be predictors. You know, we couldn't have predicted it early. But things work in mysterious ways.
Whenever you're expected to do something, the pressure is great on a basketball club. It's a relief to win rather than a exaltation. So tonight was kind of a relief and a celebration because we knew we were good enough to win. We just had to put that nail in the coffin and close the lid of this series.
I don't know who got the MVP or not, but Dennis Rodman won them 2 basketball games. You know, we controlled Dennis Rodman for 4, but game 2, I think it's game 2 and game tonight, Dennis Rodman was the reason they were successful.
And a lot of people say the same thing about me, you know. He's disruptive, he's everything, but I came back and proved everyone wrong. I could have went last year in the Western Conference, but I didn't. This year I came back and won the whole thing.
How does Dennis Rodman celebrate?
You ought to come and find out.
Oh, I didn't need to know that, Dennis. So the Bulls finished the year having played an even 100 games and having won 87 of them, 27 of those by 20 points or more. Lost perhaps somewhere in Seattle that claim to being the greatest of all time. That will be debated. But for now, to West Madison Street and the analysis of Dan Patrick and Dr. Jack Ramsey.
Thank you and welcome back to the United Center. Prior to Game 6, the question of immortality in relation to the Bulls had been reduced to a question of concern. But like true champions, Jack, they proved to be up to the task.
When the Bulls defend, Dan, rebound the ball hard and force turnovers, they're at their best. And that's exactly what they did in Game 6. They got 24 offensive rebounds, forced 20 turnovers, and those two characteristics are enough for them to win.
I guess the Sonics found out the hard way that Ron Harper is to the Bulls what Nate McMillan is to the Sonics.
Yes, Harper did a terrific job defending Gary Payton. He only played 1 minute in Game 5, played 38 minutes, had 10 points, and freed up Michael Jordan to do his other stuff on the floor, especially at the offensive end.
I know what you think of Michael Jordan. You think he's the greatest player you've ever seen. Does this elevate his status, do you believe, after winning a 4th title?
He is such a fierce competitor, Dan, and I know how much this meant to him having had that hiatus with baseball. He was driven all season with the focus of winning the championship. 72 games was fine, but winning the championship was the crowning achievement, and he got it done.
We can't go without saying something about the Sonics because they were down 3-0 and everybody had buried them. In fact, some of the players on the team were just happy to get one win if they could. They came back and made it a series.
Yeah, I thought the Sonics did a terrific job. George Karl rallied his forces. They won 2 games, granted on the home floor, but after being down 3-0 and everybody burying them, they had a tough job. George Karl got them to do it, and they did a nice job.
Our coverage of the NBA Finals will continue from the United Center. For Jack Ramsey, I'm Dan Patrick. Now back to Sports Center.
They did it. After all the predictions and hard work, the Chicago Bulls wake up this morning as NBA champions.
But not without those pesky Sonics fighting like salmon upstream. Good morning, Chicago. I'm Bill Weir. We'll have all the highlights, plus all the post-game reaction from your champion Chicago Bulls.
Good morning, Chicago. It's today's front page news, but it's tomorrow's fashion statement. Coming up around town, a look at the newest NBA shirts.
Good morning, Chicago. I'm Joni Lum on the west side. Some residents a little on edge about how far the party would go last night. I'll have details on that coming up.
And good morning, Chicago. I'm meteorologist Paul Huttner here with weather. Clean out those rain gutters and grab the umbrella. The numbers are in and heavy rain may be on the way. I'll have the details coming up in weather.
Good morning, Chicago. I'm Robin Baumgarten with traffic. Some bullish delays in store for you on the Kennedy. I'll have details coming up.
And does getting something for nothing sound like a good deal to you? Well, if so, stay tuned for 2 hours of morning fun on WGN Morning News for Monday, July 17th.
Live from Chicago's very own Sonia Gant, Larry Potash, Joni Lum, Bill Weir, Roseanne Tellez, Paul Huttner, Robin Baumgarten, and Sam Rubin live from Hollywood. This is WGN Morning News.
Chicago Bulls have won the 95-96 NBA championship.
Euphoria inside and outside the United Center after the Bulls win number 4. There were parties into the wee hours, and yes, there were a few hot spots, but thankfully, very few. And I should say, it is June 17th, anyone, in case you feel like you went to bed last night and missed a whole month.
Where were you partying last night that you think it's July?
I was up a little late. Well, I feel like Phil Jackson. Not literally, but what he said last night when he said, you know what, when people predict that you're supposed to win a championship, it's just kind of relief at the end. Less of excitement, but just relief that, okay, we did do it, you know, since the expectations were so high. Man, aren't you excited?
Yeah, the relief almost has to outweigh the euphoria in a way, even though we all knew it was going to happen. When you're in the middle of it, it's something else. Let's see these front pages.
Right, we were eager to see
comparing,
these. You want to do that? That's the early edition of the Sun Times.
This is the early edition of the Sun Times?
No, but here, take this one.
But that one's much better.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the one that that you should be looking for. This was the shot. This was the money shot, as it were, in the locker room after the game. Everyone was waiting for Michael. The players kind of retreated to the trainer's room to party and throw water and champagne on each other for a while, and then Michael finally came out with the actual trophy. And I'm telling you, the media very nearly came to blows when trying to get this photograph.
Well, I love this one. This is the sports section of the Trib, and boy, whoever's doing the headlines over there has done a great job. Foreclosure.
Right.
Isn't that nice?
And this is the front page of the Tribune here, which says Ringmasters. And that's not a bad shot there either.
Yeah. We don't have the front page of the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, but I believe they led with a story about salmon painting.
So, Bill, what was it like? You know, we're reading all about the whole crowd factor.
Yeah.
I mean, was the noise
It was
just deafening?
fantastic. It was. I said after the game that I had never heard anything as loud as what we heard in Key Arena in Game 5. Because the crowd there was fantastic. And for a relatively smaller place, you know, they only see about 15 grand. But man, did that place go nuts. It was the anthem, it started that way, you know. They started cheering in the middle and then went all the way through. And then third quarter, when they made that 9-0 run, but then Steve Kerr hit a bomb and the place just exploded. It was fantastic.
Now, it was a team effort yesterday. You had Nick Mitrovic, our sports producer, by your side. Now, how does he lure the Bulls players away from the other, you know,
fabulous
leeches?
gifts and prizes? No, it was you know, it's one of those things where everybody is in such a euphoric mood, I think, on the team, that it's that the whole the media suddenly, you know, embraced, just like everybody else. They want to share this joy with the fans, and even though we happen to be holding microphones, there was no real bias to whatever station. Everybody just had a good time.
Yeah, especially Ron Harper. I tell you, I was moving around there. He was everywhere.
I was going to say, as far as ecstasy goes, you know, visibly,
he was there.
He was the man.
he was there. Ecstatic, wonderful. Well,
you have a souvenir. Special souvenir, commemorative edition of something, and so do I. So we'll show those and compare notes a little bit later.
Plenty of souvenirs to get. I'm sure you can find them in the next couple of days. Sonics gave Chicago a few scary moments during this championship run, but it was the fans who really had city officials on pins and needles.
Right, I was watching coming down Halsted Street last night, and there was a parade of cars of people cheering. It was crazy throughout the city, but it didn't get too much out of hand. As we all know in the past, some of the celebrations have gone out of hand, and the city spent millions and millions of dollars to be prepared for whatever was going to happen last night. Joni is live with the details this morning. Good morning, Joni.
Good morning, everyone. We are at the site of the one confirmed looting incident. The near west side Kaplan's drugstore already boarded up this morning, already cleaned up on the outside at least. With this one exception, the parties last night remained just celebrations. It was not allowed to develop into anything uncontrollable around the city, due in large part to Mayor Daley's plan to put thousands of extra police officers on the street, especially in neighborhoods identified as hotspots. WGN's Mary Dixon was out in the crowds right after the game and has this report.
They cheered, they danced, they drank champagne like they're heroes. They came from all over the country, like this New York City cop who wanted to see how Chicago throws a party.
I'll never forget it as long as I live. It's the best feeling I've ever had in my whole life.
Outside Michael Jordan's restaurant and all over the city, Bulls fans risked life and limb to express their joy. And everywhere they turned, they ran into Chicago's finest. More than 5,000 police officers in riot gear kept a well-organized eye on the revelers. And it was more than just a babysitting job. There was some looting at a few stores on the west side. Rubbish fires threatened buildings all over the city. Fire engines and ambulances all got police escorts. And there were dozens of Bulls fans who may have partied a little too hard and were forced to sleep it off in the pokey. But compared to the NBA title celebrations turned riots of past years, number 4 was first rate.
It has been a busy night. It is something I think that we expected to a certain degree. We hoped people would celebrate responsibly, and I think that for the most part people have.
But it'll cost taxpayers for the extra police presence. By this morning, the tab will run over $3.5 million. Mary Dixon, WGN Morning News.
So it looks like that security plan worked around the city. There were shootings last night, though, one of them fatal. Although Police spokesman Paul Jenkins says that last night was not a record night at the 911 center where the emergency telephone calls come in. The record night for this year was that one weekend that we hit near 90-degree temperatures. And compared to the 1992-93 post-game activities, this year's disturbances and the amount of damage considerably less. Mayor Daley is going to give his final report on how the city did last night a little bit later today. Back to you all in the studio.
All right, Joni, thank you.
Well, we don't have a mosh pit like they did on Rush Street last night, but we do have riot gear just in case. Yeah.
That's right. Mike, are you wearing the tear gas screen?
Also from the Bozo prop closet.
Yeah, I mean, it feels kind of almost, I don't know, kind of corny to give kudos to entire city, you know, for behaving themselves. But when you look at what happened in Denver after the Stanley Cup championship, fires, that sort of thing, it was nice to see a little restraint. It was good to see. Well, let's look at some tape of this deal and think about it in these terms, folks. 30 years from now, maybe when the Paris Perch or the, I don't know, Uranus Mustangs are about to win the NBA title, you'll be able to tell your kids, I saw the Bulls. I saw Michael Jordan. I shared a city with Michael Jordan, the team by which all others are measured. A special Father's Day, a great story in this one, almost Capra-esque for MJ, missing his dad, his kid's grandfather. There's Pippen with the feed to him there. There's Wormy working probably the best game of the playoffs for him, 18 rebounds on the night. And the Sonics, they would not go quietly. Sean Kemp, a huge game, but the shooting started to fall, which it did not in games 4 and 5. Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr all found the baskets, and that image right there of a weeping Michael Jordan hugging the game ball because he could not hug his dad, I think will go forever in the memories of this season. Rich King takes a look back now at the season that will go down. Well, there's images other than just that one of Wormy's first press conference, of them breaking the 70-win plateau. Rich King now looks back at a magical season for a team that is known as probably the most dominant ever in this city.
The seed for this most amazing of seasons was sown well before the plant blossomed. That seed was Michael Jordan. He returned to the game he loved in the spring of 1995, and brought along with him the usual excitement.
Yes! He did it again! He is now back!
The plant became fully developed in the regular season of 1995 and 96. Along with the return of Jordan, the Bulls added longtime NBA villain Dennis Rodman, who rather quickly reversed roles here in Chicago. Dennis the Demon became Dennis the Darling.
I guess I can be the enforcer, even though I'm not the biggest guy on the team.
The Bulls rattled off an amazing 23 wins in their first 25 games, and it became apparent this team had a shot to be the greatest of all time. Scottie Pippen teaming with Jordan to give the Bulls 2 NBA superstars, and the supporting cast members filled in their roles perfectly. On the night of Tuesday, April 16th, the Bulls did in fact become the greatest team of all time.
There it is. 70 has become a reality for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, it is hard to believe. I mean, it's been a great and special regular season, but, you know, we're glad it's over.
Get some rest.
Yeah.
The Bulls would wind up the regular season with 72 wins, then breeze through the playoffs. Miami was first in 3. Then a bruising series against the Knicks that lasted 5 games. An injured Orlando team bit the dust in 4. And the Bulls then took care of Seattle to win their 4th championship in the Michael Jordan era.
This goes right up there to having my kids. My kids are the most important things to me, my wife, my family. But next to them, this is going to mean a lot to me because of what it symbolizes, which is my father on Father's Day. It means a big deal to me.
Usually very poised, Michael Jordan.
Right.
It's good to see, you know, he is human. And it kind of tugged at him a little bit there when he realized. And then when he went and laid down in the locker room by himself and just was sobbing, that was something else too.
It was probably, I heard someone in the newsroom say, that was probably the only way to get some time alone. Because if you're standing up, somebody's going to be asking you how you feel. So just hit the deck and take a few minutes. So.
Yeah, well, also coming up at the end of the show, at the end of this hour, we're going to, well, take a little more retrospective of last night. You might want to set your VCRs. We're going to show you the best of last night's win later on. All right.
Wonderful. Well, the fans will have their chance to celebrate title number 4 with the Bulls Tuesday in Grant Park.
The city and the Bulls are sponsoring a pep rally at 11:30 tomorrow morning at the Petrillo Music Shell. Some of the players, Lovables, Dancing Rodmans, and super fans will be there. And of course, WGN will bring you live coverage of the victory party beginning at 11 tomorrow morning.
There is other news on this Monday, and taking a look now at some of those stories making headlines. Russia's presidential race is heading
all the time.
Okay.
So we'll hope to get in a few dry hours. What is that, 11:30 tomorrow?
Right.
We'll work on it.
Okay. Did you see you just walked in?
Yeah, it's the first time you've been here
I'm excited.
when
This
Benny's
is the
been here
first
as well.
time that I've been here when Benny the Bull has been here. I'm usually on vacation.
Benny will soon be included in the News Open.
And boy, Benny had a late night. Thanks for getting up.
But you can't tell.
He's rubbing those eyes. You see him?
Looks like you had to tailor that shirt to get it to fit. What size is that, Benny?
That's the extra large.
XL.
All right.
Well, Bill, you'll have more highlights coming up?
More highlights, lots and lots of post-game.
Yep, and the
good
man
stuff.
who's known for getting you free stuff, he's going to be here coming up next, too.
Cool. Great.
Yeah.
And we want to join everyone in congratulating the Bulls on the Big 4.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, awesome. Excellent 4. Thank you.
They took it. That's right. Go Bulls.
It'll be all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
Late night for Benny.
Yep,
for all of
but
us.
the fur is as orange as ever.
Little matted, but it's okay.
Did you sleep in that shirt, Benny?
Of course,
Of
yeah.
course,
Speaking
yeah.
of these shirts, modeled by Benny and Mike behind us, Sport Mart, of course, our friends at Sport Mart, providing these. We also have got this one, too. Oops, losing scripts.
They're opening early this morning, too, I thought I heard.
Yeah, opening at about 7 this morning.
Back where it belongs.
Oh, how nice.
There you go.
I'm looking through the papers. There are about 13 or 14 different T-shirts variations.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. And Benny will wear them all.
That's right.
At some point. Well, you know, it is wonderfully fitting that the keys to Game 6 were manyfold. You know, it could have just been like a 55-point Jordan game, but, you know, I think he almost preferred it this way. As far as the team aspect goes, the Sonics deserve also a lot of credit for playing chicken with basketball's all-time speedingest Mack truck. And you get the feeling they wish they could have had Benny, and they could have brought their fans with them. But this time it was the United Center's turn to rock. Scotty's reemergence, one of the keys of this one, 17 points after awful games 4 and 5. Ron Harper also playing through pain, the gimpy knee, but came back for good defensive efforts as well as 10 points. He said if he didn't start, he would have to fight Phil Jackson. Look at Rodman, best game of the playoffs. Great play even away from the ball. Good assist to MJ to go with a record 11 offensive rebounds. Steve Kerr finding the basket as well. Get the saran wrap off the rim for him. He kind of a cold slump there. Sean Kemp, one of the louder moments of the game. Everyone singing along with Ray Charles. Hit the road jack when Sean Kemp fouls out. A good game. But this is a nice scene. A lot of the guys who haven't won rings get there first. 87-75, the final score of the game. MJ named Finals MVP, a record 4th time. The celebration became a welling of every kind of wonderful emotion. Our Dan Roan was there to document it all on videotape.
Sinking their teeth into a title produced a breadth of emotion among the Bulls. For Ron Harper, who played through pain to earn his first ring, sheer joy.
We knew that we had to come back home in our main goal to get a game up in Seattle. And we came back here and set Game 6 up. We came out tonight. Cigars, champagne, it's all on the house, baby.
I'm very happy that he's bounced back. I know he's going to have surgery sometime soon on those bad knees, but you know, he fought through pain today to help us bring this championship here to Chicago, and I'm very glad that he was around.
An emotional moment for Michael Jordan.
Jordan's own post-game emotions drove him to the locker room floor in tears of happiness and relief and remembrance.
I think deep down inside it was geared to what was most important to me, which was my family and my father not being here to see this. And, you know, I'm just happy that the team kind of pulled me through it, you know, because it was a tough time for me.
Tony, tell us who's on top there. Who's up there? Who's up there? How old?
He's 4 years old.
You can see obviously there's a lot of people outside. Well, we're talking of Father's Day you'll never forget, right?
Yeah, this is the best one.
It was a Father's Day never to be forgotten, certainly not by Dennis Rodman. He broke the NBA Finals record with 11 offensive rebounds. Broke it in front of Bulls fans who've made him feel mighty welcome here.
I just really appreciate the city of Chicago. You know, they didn't have to do the things they did for me. You know, to take me in their arms and love me the way they do. They didn't have to do that, but you know, I want to give back to people. I want to show people that hey, I belong in this city, and I want to do it, and I've done it.
The ball had barely stopped bouncing Sunday night when the question was posed, can management keep this team together for another championship or two? Michael is the key to that one.
I saw you and David enjoying an embrace over here. I hope that means the negotiations will be every bit as pleasant.
Well, we're not going to have negotiations. We're just going to be friends sitting down and talking, and we'll end up where we have to end up.
And people have tried to guess and speculate what Michael could get, and I hope that Jerry, you know, we sit down and gets done very quickly because the guy deserves whatever he gets.
That battle can wait for another day. In the short term, for the Chicago Bulls, next year is right now. At the United Center, Dan Roan, WGN News.
Thanks to Dan. Other headlines, the Sox dropped a squeaker to the Mariners, but the Bulls won. Cubs' Frank Castillo shook his losing streak against the Pods. They win, just like the Bulls. And a kid out of nowhere named Steve Jones won a fantastic U.S. Open at Oakland Hills and then went on to root for the Bulls. Actually, a side note, Davis Love III, who narrowly lost the U.S. Open, is a good friend of Michael Jordan's, helped him with his golf game. Davis Love III also lost his father in a violent plane crash, so they have that kind of a bond. So he came in before the game, says, "How's Davis Love doing?" And that was kind of interesting. But I'm sure Davis is happy for Michael nonetheless. Anyway, there you go. That's it for sports. One other note, have to talk about, thank you, Benny. One other note, we need Roger Ebert. We need to hire Roger Ebert because Channel 2, did you see this?
No.
Gene Siskel
in the locker
was
room.
all over the place.
He got doused in
shameless.
champagne,
He was
too.
shameless. Did you see that? Can you believe that? Hello, this is not a movie review. This is a championship locker room. We love Gene Siskel. He was here on the show.
Yeah, he was very nice.
Good guy. But come on. You know, was Tim Weigel going to Cannes next year?
I saw him. He got that little champagne down. Hey, Benny, will you stick around? You'll hang out? Okay. You got a big day tomorrow, too, in Grant Park, don't you? Got to go practice
And we'll
those
be hawking
routines.
stuff at Sport Mart later
Yeah.
today.
Plans for the summer, Benny? Got a long way. What are you going to do? Water skiing?
Rest. Sleep.
Rest, okay.
Sleep would be good.
All right. Stay with us, everybody. Very special perk up, a musical twist.
Yeah, that's going to be nice and around town. Hot off the presses, woo, and on to the T-shirts.
More T-shirts.
Roseanne is at Propaganda Shirts, where they've been working since the wee hours to get ready for the crush this morning.
Congratulations, Chicago Bulls, on a great championship. You deserve it.
4 championships in 6 years. Unbeatable. Hopefully they'll do it again next year.
Welcome back, 7:29, and as if we need a perk up after such a victory last night, but we do, we're going to get one anyway from the Opera Cafe of Evanston. Good morning, come on up. Now this is really going to be a treat because not only are we getting coffee, but I understand you guys sing too.
That would be the case.
Settle down, Benny.
Benny's excited.
You got a
Oh, look at that. They've decorated the
Yeah, that's nice.
The Bulls
very, very
brew.
nice.
Benny can't wait for the treats.
Now you, Oliver, right? Okay,
And Carissa. And John Isola is the owner.
Hi.
John, you're not singing this morning?
No, I'm not a singer.
Okay, you just hire them, right?
See, we've been asking perk up people to sing like for years, and no one wants to. Now you do.
Well, that's the special thing
Oh,
about the
free
Opera
stuff.
Cafe,
Really?
is that we sing nightly, live opera
Hey,
nightly
Benny.
at the Opera Cafe.
Now,
In
do you walk from table to table singing, or are you up on the stage?
No,
or
we
how
have
do you do
sort of a
Thank
stage in front of the piano forum
Thank you.
where we
Oh,
stop
Benny's
service and actually have a little recital for you.
Oh, excellent. Let's hear it.
Well, he's pouring coffee at this
Oh.
juncture.
Oh, okay. Can't pour coffee and do that too, Bill.
I
But you
can't
can
chew
grab
gum and
some.
walk.
Here I am.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Take it away, Oliver.
Yeah, sure.
Usually after we sing, we have a little collection because we're not paid to sing. So after I'm done, I'm going to need you
Yeah,
to.
we can.
Oh,
Can you-
working
can
the
you-
crowd.
Can
We
you
take
spot me a
I got
tip?
some-
I
Yeah,
didn't
Benny,
bring
you got
any
your
money.
wallet on you?
Yeah, Benny's leaving. We'll collect something from you.
I guess this would be dedicated to the Bulls for winning last night.
Manna tu sole più bello in me, o sole mio, stai in fronte a te, o sole mio, stai in fronte a te, stai in fronte a te.
Northwestern student, right?
Yes,
Did I
I'm
read?
a junior at Northwestern University.
I'm an alum.
You're an alum. Okay, wonderful. Well, you sounded great. Where's the Opera Cafe in Evanston?
1708 Sherman.
No. That's Musicland.
That's Musicland.
Yeah, it's at 1458 Sherman Avenue. We're 2 blocks north of Dempster and 1 block west of Chicago.
Of course, we can buy your album at Musicland.
Soon.
The Opera Cafe soundtrack, yeah.
A Freudian slip there.
We have some
we don't even
delicious pastries here if anybody wants. And there's scones and muffins and forks if you want to use forks, but you could use your hands. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Well, I hope we
you.
perked you up.
Oh, you did.
Even without the coffee, the song. Man.
The song is great.
I was watching you at
Actually, that's
midnight
just a
last night in
sample we
Seattle.
do. Like usually we have
Can't believe we're
piano
here.
and much more elaborate program, and we collect money.
What do I have here? No? Okay.
Larry's got
20 in there.
Yeah. Larry's putting in for me, too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
great.
Don. Okay.
Top that, Benny.
Area lottery numbers: pick 3, 704, pick 4, 4898.
And over in Indiana, in the Hoosier Lottery, the Daily 3247 and Daily 40061. We'll be right back. I love this song.
Once again, we finally get them. I mean, I've been here for 5 years, hoping for it one more time. Last night it was beautiful, and on Father's Day, that topped it all off.
Congratulations, Bulls. Go Chicago.
They're much better.
See what happens when you leave your post, though, Robin? This is what happens. He's going through your
Don't
purse.
be sifting through my purse, Betty, for the love of God.
Wait a
What
minute.
are you doing?
I'm shocked Benny can fit in there.
You know, he's writing me love notes.
He's doing the travel cast.
And look at, he bumped off the picture of my dad. For God's sake, he's only there for 1 day and he's gone already. He's going to kill me. Thanks.
I hope you can get back in.
I hope so.
Just a gentle reminder of what can happen if you don't live up to party.
Better not take a sick day.
That's right. That's right.
Giant cartoon bull. Wait to
Yeah.
replace you.
Do I look that big in that camera?
What is that? What
Well-
have you got your nail polish? What is that? What is
What
you had nail polish back there? Did you see that?
Yeah. You know, for runs and stuff, you know. I don't know what I got back there. God. And now I'm thinking about what kind of stuff do I have back there now?
I think Paul's locking the weather office
Yeah.
as we speak.
Hi, Paul.
Triple bolted. We've got that security lock thing happening.
Sure.
Yeah, right. Hey, good morning, everybody. He's dangerous, isn't he? Check this out. We've got rain on the way. Whoa, wait a minute.
He got
Benny,
in.
you go, Benny, you go. Doing that rap thing. Attaboy, Benny. All right. Larger than life, you know, what can you say? Checked out the fog this morning. This is unbelievable. It's thick in spots. Visibilities are down there. This is our WGN time lapse from the.
Great. So, early call. It looks like they're stocking up. I thought we might see some people lined up outside.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not. Well,
Maybe they're just getting ready.
they're there.
Waiting for
Trust
you.
us, they're there.
Speaking of which, where's Benny? They're
Where is
there.
Benny?
Benny's here
Maybe
somewhere.
he's down at Sport Mart waiting in line.
He's going to be
that's
there
it.
later.
Is he?
Yeah. Hanging up T-shirts.
Oh my goodness.
She's
brutal.
Ouch.
His eyes are rolling back in his head.
She won. There he goes.
That a girl. She protects her own space.
Boy, a lot of spunk, doesn't she have this morning?
Yeah. Let's get to our around town.
That's right. They're taking this morning's headlines and making them T-shirts that I'm sure you will see on store shelves, on the street, just everywhere. Hi, Roseanne.
Hi, Larry. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Bill. Do you guys have something to wear to the big rally at Grant Park tomorrow? If not, we've got you covered. We've got you covered out here. The perfect thing to wear, as I said earlier, we're at Propaganda Screen Printing, where today's front page news is being transformed into the latest fashion statement. They're making T-shirts out here, and lots of them for all of the Bulls fans out there. And joining me to tell me a little bit about this operation is Dick Good, and he is with Front Pages, a company out of Los Angeles. But you're out here because this is the the hot market.
This is a hot market. This is what we call work all night, no sleep, get shirts ready for the retailers early in the morning, and that's it.
What time did you start?
We haven't gone to sleep. We've been up all night. So we started when the newspaper went to bed last night about midnight.